here. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the stream. This is so nice. I like this. I like this so much. Welcome to the stream, everybody, to the Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood discussion. And with me today, I have my friends from the Jaded Desktop. I have my background with me talking. I should probably stop that. We also have a special guest with us today. Say hi, special guest.
Hi, special guest.
His name is actually Special Guest, guys. It's all good.
Yeah. No, that's legit my real name. I was born in Russia. They were like, we call him Special Guest. Done. Good name. He could be good boy.
Wrong name.
I forgot you came from came from across the ice.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that. I think you're a full-blooded, full-fledged American.
I am now. Yes, as of December, I am.
That's awesome.
Congrats. So talk about yourself. Plug in yourself. Talk about yourself. Where do you come from? What do you do?
Hi, I'm Thur. I make videos and streams. I stream usually 3 times a day. I do a lot of content on MMOs, RPGs, sometimes not MMOs. It really depends. I don't know. I just make streams and upload them videos and talk about Final Fantasy a lot, and that's about it. Also, don't look at my second channel. Do not look at the second channel.
That sounds like a warning. What the?
I mean, it's definitely a niche thing. I mean, it just has a lot of anime stuff, visual novels, JRPGs, stuff like that. It's very different from what I do on my main channel. But anyway, hi everybody. I'm very, God, what's the proper word here?
Excited?
Yeah, actually, very excited and very honored to be invited to this podcast.
Yes, and I am also honored for you to come to this podcast and or stream.
Thank you for having me.
I do want to also introduce my many members of my own FC, my own Discord, who also all have their own YouTube channel called The Jaded Desktop. Let me just introduce their leader. Hello, Jehudi.
Hello, I am Jehudi, and we had just started this little, pet project. I don't want to say pet project, more like a hobby, but just started a little while ago. And we're currently got a little thing currently working on various other projects. Mainly, I believe one of ours right now is Kingdom Hearts. If Kazan's got that up, have you got that up, Kazan? Right?
Yeah, I got Kingdom Hearts.
Cool. Thanks, man. Cool. I don't want to be talking I don't want to be firing blanks here and anything like that.
Yeah, I'm running Kingdom Hearts Final Mix.
Yeah, everybody's running something different, and we hope to get more content out other than what we got now.
I know, right?
And we also have my co-host Kazan, who you may heard in some of my streams.
And like 90% of your stream. Yeah. What's up? What's up? I think I'm Kazan. I don't know anymore.
I think I'm Kazan. What an intro!
He's only had 1 cup of coffee. He needs more. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. Anyways, what's up?
It's okay, guys. I'm in the same boat. I've only had 2.5 hours of sleep. Anyway, our artist for our Discord. Hello, Noon2.
I'm an artist.
I mean, you're the master of MS8.
He's an artist?
To your name.
Okay.
Wait a minute,
yeah.
he's an artist?
Yes.
Hello. I also do stuff for the Jaded Desktop. I make Dark Souls things.
Thank you. Also, I will share that meme later. You slurping, you knew.
Oh no. Yes, I also badly draw inside jokes of the Discord.
Last but not least, because I have to introduce them together, is our company, Discord, and all-around best twins, Saj and Sora.
Who aren't actually twins in real life.
Hello. That is incorrect, but nice try.
They're not
No,
actually
totally
twins, but they
No
join
relation.
at the same time. So they're twins to our eyes.
Yep.
So,
I got my twin to be a healer, so it's all good.
So, let's start this off with why and what's going on with Stormblood and what they were currently talking about in terms of the issues. They said that there was like a level restriction that was too high, that there was too many job actions, which we've seen that they've taken, cutting off the leg of the Dark Knight and putting it together with other roles. They changed up PvP, and I think the action point disparity, that was an issue. with the PvP, plus an overlay complex controls. So I'm guessing that would be the gauge, if I'm correct. I'm not sure. Somebody can correct me on that. Maybe.
Well,
No?
I never really heard of like the actual issues. I guess I'm still stuck behind the hype train, so I don't know much about it. The hype train is too loud right now.
Yes, and they've done a bunch of things to alleviate all that. And I guess in terms like they want to make it friendlier, but that's as much as I know with their issues. They want to make things a little bit more friendly with 14 and get it out to the mass market, and hopefully someday knock down WoW. Don't quote me on that. Don't tell Square Enix I said that.
Look,
Blizzard.
we came really close to doing that, and then WoW launched Legion, so we're now in the back of the bus, unfortunately.
Yep.
We're gonna have to wait till the
Actually-
next Overwatch expansion, and then WoW's gonna die again.
Incorrect, but
But
okay.
hey, as we've taken the leg from Sync's favorite class, Dragoon has also taken that leg, so it's getting
Damn.
better.
We'll get there when we get there.
So now I just need to take your tank stance, and then Dragoon can be best tank.
Exactly.
Alright.
So let's get to the real meat, and let's talk about the jobs and the changes and what's going on, because that's why we're here. That is why we're here, right? We're talking about these
What? I thought
jobs
we were
that
talking about
change.
memes.
Yeah, memes.
Hey,
too.
hey, you only led me here because you had a box of cookies. And I said, you had to see those goddamn cookies.
But I
That
do-
van said free candy on it, Sync. What the hell? Where's my candy?
No, nobody told you to follow the trail of candy into a box. All right, I just laid it there and you followed.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Alright.
But
Alright.
I want to actually start this off with our special guest who knows everything about the Bard, because I have no idea how that worked out. For me, I looked at the video, I had no idea what was going on. Dom, can you maybe elaborate for all of us who have no idea?
Oh yeah, and I do apologize. There are moments sometimes when I speak way too fast in my videos. It's just a Russian thing, and sometimes I just talk at 100 words per second. So I do apologize if it's ever difficult to understand what I say. There was a disparity with a lot of bards. That's at least what I've been able to kind of tell by talking to a lot of bards and kind of seeing what other people thought of it. Bards are getting a major change in regards to how their songs are gonna work. Before, in the past, you would have, I believe, let's see, 1, 2, 3, yeah, you have roughly 4 songs. One of them was mostly for yourself, but you'd have things like Mage's Ballad, which recovered mana for your party members within the range. It had for Requiem, which made your opponents, all opponents within range, more vulnerable to magic damage, which was a huge boost for summoners and black mages and any healers that wanted DPS a little bit. Army's Payon, excuse me, that recovered TP for your melee and your tanks, which is pretty important. And then you had Wanderer's Minuet, which was a new Heavensward song that simply gave you a stance. You were able to have increased damage, and you were shooting a little bit faster. You didn't have auto attack, you gave up auto attack, and you also got a cast bar. So you kind of gave up your mobility and your ability to like run all over the place and just jump around all over the place and spam abilities for standing still and casting. So you're pretty much kind of like a bow mage. Some bards were very it was very jarring for them, this new change. They have to plant their feet and cast, but others, they kind of adapted to it. Only some bards, I believe, really enjoyed the change because they're like, hey, look at that, more powerful cast times and everything. We actually get to do some real serious damage, which was, pretty fancy for a lot of bards. A lot of them definitely appreciated the change. Overall, myself, I think it was not the best course of action, but at the same time, I was very early in the game, so I was like, whatever, I'll adapt. Now in Stormblood, they're taking the songs that you had, they're reworking their purpose, taking away the cast buff from Wanderer's Minuet, adding different buffs and debuffs you can do on your opponents and your friendlies, depending on the song that you play, and changing the main purpose of using the songs. Mage's Ballad no longer recovers mana. Army's Payon no longer recovers TP. They put those abilities on cross-class or cross-roll. Just a button press and you recover mana in TP. And that's a nice change and it makes it a lot easier. Now things like Mage's Ballad, Wanderer's Minuet, and Army's Payon, the only thing they do for your party is give a straight up 2% crit buff. which is nice. It's a pretty solid addition. But that's the only thing it does. No more recovering mana from certain songs, no more recovering TP, no more... well, you can still technically debuff your enemy with Full Requiem. Full Requiem got a terrible translation for it, which is why it's still under confusion whether it reduces enemy damage or makes enemies weaker to certain damage. So, still a lot of up in the air until we actually get to hands-on experience with proper translation. And what some bards really like, the new change, like, hey, look at that, our songs do something fancy. People like me that were already used to what the songs already did have to now relearn Bard all over again. So it's like, Bard came out in Realm Reborn, people played it. Heavensward, oh, we have to relearn how to Bard, sorta. And then Stormblood, oh, you remember how you played it in Heavensward? Nope, we're going back and changing some other stuff there. So it's like, can we please make up our mind on how the Bard class works? Which is why a lot of Bards are either nervous of how it's going to play, or, they're maybe a little bit annoyed that this change is, happening. It's like, could you please just stick to one thing at a time? They are adding also other abilities and making a lot of the song procs that benefit bards are not really RNG chance, but I guess more crit based, right? Yeah. For example, Mage's Ballad, if you get a critical tick with your dots, then you get to spam a certain ability, or you get a ability reset on a single target or an AoE ability you can just kind of spam off of cooldown, which is nice, but it's only related to the crit proc that you get. Same thing for Army's Payon. If you get a crit proc, you get, I think, extra crit for yourself or for your party members. It's still very up in the air about the translation. Wanderer's Minuet lets you build a resource bar, so you can spend it on, I believe you can spend it on an ability called Pitch Perfect, which, according to how much resources you build, anywhere from 1 to 3 special arrows, you can do higher potency damage. And it really all is crit based. So if you don't get any crits while the song is playing, you kind of shit out of luck. You can't really do much. You kind of just have to sit there and just play your songs. When when crits aren't proccing, when crits aren't hitting, but you just a bard, you just kind of sit there spamming abilities, saying, "Come on, Caustic Bite, come on, Storm Bite, why don't you please crit a little bit for love of God, please?"
When your party's dying and all you're doing.
Exactly. It's like the same meme of like when party's done, but you just a bard. But it's redone with a different light to it. But while the changes look really nice, and while I still play Bard to 70 to really see what it's like, I'm kind of just nervous that Bard will never find a place to belong to at that point. Maybe they will. I don't know. Maybe they will. But if everything is going to be so crit based, we'll have to stack. I think the only time we'd actually be able to benefit from any of the songs is in later parts of the expansion, where we have a lot more crit built up, and when our Caustic Bite and Storm Bite, the 2 damage over time abilities, proc crit a little bit more, or hit the ticks hit with a crit. It'd be a lot better that way instead of early game. So I mean, like, do we just wait until later game for Bart to be good? I don't know.
I think a lot of jobs had that same problem, actually.
Yeah.
Where the late game was much better than early game.
Yeah, I mean, when you hit the point where you're like, oh man, I'm now level 50. Now I'm going to get the good stuff after 50, where it makes sense. Like, tanks actually getting their DPS rotation, which was silly.
Or paladins waiting for their tank
Paladins didn't get their tank stance until level 40.
Yeah, which...
Or better yet, impulse drive.
Which, in this case, I would say that, I have one thing to say about Bard, and I do find it more interesting now that they've changed it. Like, I didn't really have much of an interest with Bard beforehand. And, I don't know, maybe it's just me. But I think I have a legit interest now. I want to at least try it. So it's not at level 34 for the obvious reason anymore. Like,
yeah.
I got Quelling Strikes, guys. I'm good.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. If you are looking into playing Bard, this is like the proper time and the best time to get into it. Because, I mean, from the outsider's point of view, you know, you're seeing all these abilities, seeing all the utilities, the constant crit buff you can provide to your party members, the new roll abilities. It's like, hey, look at this. This is actually really freaking cool. This looks like a really fun class. And hey, I don't have to stand there and cast, so I'm not a bow mage. It's really nice. I can just run around, jump around, you know, sprint back and forth like an idiot and just, I don't know. That's what I did when I was Bard at level 50. I just literally jumped around everywhere and DPS'd. I'll press spacebar whenever I could, just because I could. But I mean, like, as somebody who played Bard through Heaven's Ward and who already got used to what we have now, I feel like there are going to be multiple moments in the beginning of Stormblood where I'll be like, okay, pop Mage's Ballad. Oh, wait a minute. Mana, sorry healer, you don't have mana. Mage's Ballad doesn't recover mana anymore. Square, why?
What happened?
Exactly.
You have betrayed us.
Hey, that's okay. Thank you, Thumb. You did certainly make it more interesting and more simple for me to understand. Like I said, I don't know Bard at all. When I looked at that video, I still had no idea what was going on. So I was looking at it, I was just like, what? There's this Bard thing in this. What? And there's switching. There's that arrow thing. They're archers. What the hell's going on? So I had no idea.
We're pretty much going to be turning into archers. The Bard is only in the name at that point. We only provide some crit base, but that's about it. Unless we grab the cross rolls of recover mana and recover TP, which I will, because I still want to have that ability, right? I still want to play that extra support role that recovers mana and TP, because I gotta stay as a original Bard. I gotta be the Bard. I have to make sure I sacrifice 2 out of 5 cross roll abilities just for those, because I have to stick as a Bard. I cannot allow Bard to just not be Bard.
Yes. With that being said, thank you. For who in our little chat here is the best floor tank ever, so we can get to the other great DPS.
Damn.
Yeah,
I was about to
I
name.
want to fight you on that one.
That is harsh. Oof.
I kid.
he has tasted all sorts of
just
tops.
because I also wear heavy armor, but just slightly less heavy armor than you do as a Dark Knight does not mean that I tank the floor more than a Dark Knight does. If anything,
I don't know about that.
Oh.
Look, the only reason why a Dark Knight,
them didn't work.
the only reason why Dark Knight tanks the floor is because I forget to heal them sometimes.
And we
Well,
run
yeah,
out of
because they're
MP.
squishy. And they
So,
don't have any of the good. They don't have any of the good tank stances. Or
So,
my bad, tank defenses.
Saj, any changes
Yes.
that you're excited about, or anything that you want to take note and discuss?
Besides the obvious of all of the different changes to Droskogel and Blood of the Dragon, which is extremely nice, by the way, which basically means, hey, you can spam Droskogel without losing Blood of the Dragon, so no longer do you have to worry about, alright, boss mechanic is about to go into an invulnerable phase.
And I put it in the
Like,
wrong...
I don't know. It's like, maybe you could just point at A12 and like, when it was like, oh, he's gonna do his phase shift. Do I burn my Droskogel, or do I have enough time on my Blood of the Dragon to wait for his phase shift? Now it's, I'm just gonna wait and then cast it again.
So there's definitely going to be some changes. And don't worry, Saj, I'm level 60 Dragoon. Also, Dragoon is my highest DPS.
Yeah, Dragoon's my highest DPS, as you kind of pointed out by saying who's the best floor tank here. Still salty about that. I'll just point out that in your video,
Saj, I love
I
you.
was
Don't-
able to.
Don't do it, Saj.
I was gonna say, it's like if we point out to our almost completely man mode, freaking stopping getting kicked. That low blow from Ilbert doesn't work. I'm just waiting until they reveal that Dragoons get home gang too.
Oh boy, jeez.
If we're gonna take Dark Knight's low blow, we might as well get home gang.
Home gang's a warrior ability.
Exactly.
Don't take that. You already took that from us. Don't take any more from us, please.
Can I get Fell Cleave as a Dragoon as well?
No!
Is this gonna be one of the?
I don't want to see you critting 15,000.
he's going too
I can
far.
already do it with a good jump.
He's gone too far.
If like for people that don't play Dragoon and you stack all crit in your for your materia, you can get some really good jumps, almost as good as some fell cleaves, but more consistently.
All right.
Like every 30 seconds.
Thank you, Saj. Like I said, much love to you and to Dragoons. I do want to take this time to actually talk about Samurai. How excited are we for that?
Poor Samurai.
Or as
How
I
many
like to call it,
Kirito cosplays are we going to see on day one, guys?
Quite a lot. My only issue with Samurai right now is he jumped into the hole that Monk's climbing out of right now, which is very sad.
For my opinion, rip queue times for dungeons and anything for
Rip
DPS
queue times
for the next month.
Yeah, I was like, rip queue time for DPS in general. Holy crap.
Which is why I'm going to become a warrior main. Which means I also get to talk about warrior.
Later.
I'm already a white mage main, so it's fine.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that I personally am excited for Samurai. However, when I saw that it could actually go up to, what was it, like 860 potency?
Having all 3 sends, it was 720, but that's probably going to change.
Probably.
It has another ability, it's a cleave ability, so if you have multiple people, it kind of divides between them. But its initial potency is 800 if it's on one target.
Gosh.
And then it just becomes drastically less like every
Oh,
other
now I'm
AoE.
glad about those PvP changes.
Samurai does sound completely interesting. The problem is, there's going to be so many people playing Samurai that I'm just going to wait until things calm down with the class. I will unlock it, but I'm not really going to be playing it too often until people have decided if they want to main it or not.
I think I'm honestly. I said I was gonna do Samurai first. It doesn't look complicated. It kind of feels like a crossbreed between Ninja and Monk. If you guys understand me with that one, it kind of feels like that. It's more like I'm gonna build up this combo. I'm gonna build up all this damage. I'm gonna build up so that I will hit you with this big strike. And I feel Monk was sort of kind of like that earlier in the 14, like Monk 2.0 in a way. And I guess now my decision has been made that I'm just gonna go straight to Red Mage. Stormblood. I'm just gonna go straight to Red Mage, then Samurai.
Samurai.
That, it's like having. Oh, you go first.
No, you go first. Just bounce off that.
To bounce off that, like I was thinking, oh man, I'm just not gonna care, cause who's gonna play a DPS in Stormblood? Everybody. What does that mean for DPS queue times? Horrible. What does that mean for my Dragoon queue times? God awful.
Horrible.
So I'm thinking,
so play a tank.
the warrior, and then I see Samurai, and I'm like, I could do my Kenshin cosplay, and then I thought about it for a second. I'm like, oh wait, the amount of Kirito cosplays is gonna be awful.
I just
Which
want that.
now
God, the Kirito cosplays.
I just want that rice hat, just so I'll be the pig with the rice hat.
I'm a little worried about the amount of cosplays that are going to happen during Stormblood launch.
It's already bad.
Just deal with it.
I mean, maybe it's a cosplay. Maybe they actually got a Yakuza from Japan, and they're just walking around with their traditional samurai. So you don't know.
I wouldn't look. It just all depends on what's going to happen that day.
It really does.
So, speaking of Red Mage, anybody see that quad raise?
Yes.
Yeah.
I am the one person that is not happy about that quad raise, but that's only because of the fact that we still have no idea how red mages are going to be getting mana back, do we?
No.
That quad raise.
The way that the
grab
red
a bard. Just grab a bard in hand.
Bard on standby.
Yeah. You see, if that happened, then you can have a red mage and bard just prance around hand in hand, and we'll quad raise everybody and get their mana back instantly.
Yeah, like
Exactly.
Fred, he's a warm-hearted person.
Secretly in the background behind that video, there was just like, all right, I'm glad you put me in the video. Thank you. And just walks away. But that quad raise was probably the biggest thing that kind of interested me. Also, it has Holy, and it has Flare, and I saw its rotation which is the most confusing thing I've ever seen.
The holiest of flares.
Oh no, the red mage rotation makes my head hurt. I have no idea how it works still.
Like,
Yeah.
they had to put a start here Monopoly arrow in this rotation just for them to understand, and I'm like, I still don't understand what's going on.
The only thing I really noticed with Red Mage was its like fighting style, where it just fought like a fencer, pretty much.
Oh no, it's a fantastic fighting style. I really want to see like that shit in action.
Reminds me a lot of what's her face from Persona 3.
Persona 3. You're talking about
The red hair. Yeah, red hair girl. Like it looks a lot like that to me.
Oh, I'm kind of happy that the community is already coming up with rotations for the thing.
Even though the abilities haven't come out.
I mean,
Watch all those rotations be wrong.
watch the rotations be a lot simpler than we're making it out to be, so that we can just toss a Monopoly board out, or add a second Monopoly board because it's a harder rotation than we thought.
But no, for how Red Mage would work is first you gotta say a prayer. It's like to the old book, then cast the holy hand grenade. I mean holy flare.
What? Last time I checked, I thought we were like, praising two gods at once and hoping hoping that we don't get struck down.
No, that's just Dark Souls though.
That's
Lord
just
Gwyn,
Dark Souls.
man. Lord Gwyn.
We're just gonna get to that point, huh?
Anyways.
So, yeah, I'm excited for Red Mage. Can't wait. I honestly think it's going to be the main utility class. I think they're going to show up everywhere. I hope they don't just wipe out White Mage. Definitely not Black Mage, but especially White Mage.
Stop making me cry in the corner.
I'm not trying to. The most significant change in the DPS, I don't see much of a significant change in the other DPS. Any one of us is like a master ninja.
I have been playing ninja a lot. The ninja class seems pretty interesting from what I've seen, because specifically the ability to cast up to 3 ninjutsus with the power with what looks like a ley lines kind of thing, and I can just cast Raiton, Kutan, and what was another one?
Japanese word. Just say Japanese word.
And Doton all at once.
It would be more like Fuma, Raiton, and then Suiton, though.
Yeah.
How Tenchi Jin works is you lock yourself in place, and the next 3 mudras remember the mudras you use. So if you use 10 and Fuma Shuriken, then 10 is on Snapshot, then you use Chi, and that's Raiton, and then you use Jin, and then it's Suiton. You're also binded in place, so I don't know how much balancing you're going to have to do with it, but
No idea.
I'm sure it could be like a start or an end to a combo, especially since Sneak Attack actually got taken out, if I'm correct.
There's no frontal attack anymore.
No, there's only Trick Attack. Which, I mean, no one really used Sneak Attack unless they had to, so...
It really wasn't necessary.
So, I mean, what other changes that was really significant? Because
I believe Dancing Edge and Shadowfang got merged into a pseudo one ability. I know
Pseudo.
Dancing Edge, I think Shadowfang got taken out and just put into Dancing Edge.
right. Jeez, I'm gonna have to relearn Ninja now. I have a level 60 Ninja, and yet I have no idea.
It doesn't seem like Ninja is going to go through that much change. Honestly, the biggest thing is just going to be the gauge that you build off of auto attacks.
Tom, did you have something to say?
No, not really, but I mean, I pulled up a video for Final Fantasy XIV Stormblood with the skills and videos and everything, and yes, it is confirmed Shadowfang is the only one. Looks like they merged the 2 abilities together. Trick Attack is the only ability they have one hidden. I was actually hoping they would maybe try to play it up to ninjas being stealthy and all, but I guess trick attack is not really going to be that necessary. I don't know. I mean, I come from World of Warcraft, you know, the the redheaded stepchild of the MMO community at this point that still won't die. But
Good job. Good job.
no, I'm just jokes, just jest.
I mean, I know at least 2 of us came here from WoW too, so.
Oh yeah, I spent 10 years of my life in WoW. I have experience.
Speaking of shameless plug-in, Thom's doing Elder Scrolls. Hint, hint.
ESO. ESO.
Yep. But regarding rogues in World of Warcraft, I have a twin who plays them all the time. So he talks about to me not to stop, even though I ask him to stop. I always find it fascinating that rogues in World of Warcraft always had this really intricate. Like, they have 3 specs, but they always had some sort of an intricate opener where they go from shadows and use the stealth mechanic to amp up their DPS. So I was maybe hoping to see something like that for Ninja, but turns out they actually wanted to be less about hiding and more about being in battle and building the bar and pretty much staying kind of the same, but having extra utilities and extra DPS abilities added to them, which is nice.
Oh, go ahead.
What you're talking about is like the combo point system, which this game 14 also sort of has with the, like, if you use this ability after the other, the potency is higher.
I will say this: I do like how they actually give us an actual little visual cue about how long Hutan will last. And so I don't know, I just like that little visual cue.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Oh yeah, I did see that. That was very interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I always had to look down at my little icon just to see how long I had, but
Now we just have a giant status thing.
It's just like Monster Hunter.
yeah.
Exactly.
Dragoon gets it too. So
Um,
all I need now is a gigantic shield and make my spear into a gun, and then I can be a gun lancer from
This isn't Monster Hunter.
Now the new meta.
So here's one for Sura. So now we're gonna be talking about what I actually had drooled over in that little video of mine. We're gonna be talking about the summoner.
Alrighty then.
What, just Dora?
Well, beyond that, like, I know the thing that most people are excited about with Summoner is all of Bahamut, but like, there's a lot of things that they seem to have consolidated the Summoner rotation to be more about how fast can you get to Bahamut rather than dot management, because the dot management seems a lot easier. Because from what I'm reading here in some of the old like notes that have been consolidated, once you like Fester is on a 5-second cooldown, but its potency is pretty much halved. Try Disaster, you have 1 less dot to manage, but you get basically it's kind of like hypercharging your Rook turret, where you get a vulnerability up. So there's that, and Dreadworm Transcendent resets Try Disaster. So it seems to be more about like how fast can you get to Bahamut rather than how well can you keep up your dots. And you know what? That change is fine. Most summoners are kind of upset about the Bane changes being flared into the ground. No pun intended. But honestly, it doesn't seem to be a problem when you can summon Bahamut, and I guess I should better address what he does, but even though probably most people have already done that, when you summon Bahamut, he mirrors any action you take with an attack of his own. So, and he has his own Enkindle, which everyone's been going crazy over because it's Hawkmourne. It's Hawkmourne. Why wouldn't you go crazy over that? You just get to destroy everything.
Now you can show it, Hog Boss.
Sorry, you know what this is reminding me slightly? Shades of Dragoon from 11.
Shades of Dragoon.
Because in that one, you would do an action, and then your pet would also.
Oh yeah, I do remember.
Hopefully, we don't get those problems. I don't imagine we will. But
They just increased the cooldown timer on pet summons to an hour.
Check the general chat real quick.
Okay.
But anyway, that's
also a quick someone is going to pop in real quick. If you want to come in, Hal, go for it. Also, in order, I want to add on to the summoner.
Go ahead.
From my perspective, the summoner literally went like backwards in terms of like Final Fantasy XI, if we're gonna refer to that, because you get to summon a little baby dragon, and then you get to absorb said baby dragon into your body, and you become one. And Summoner in 14 was like, oh, you absorb some of Bahamut, and now you get to summon Bahamut. And I'm excited for Summoner, let's just say that. And
Most people are.
I don't have a caster, that's the thing. Like, my Black Mage is low. Well, not really low, it's at level 56 now, but compared to all my other casters, my Summoner is my strongest caster, only because I was interested in the dots, and if I'm correct, they took one of those dots away in Stormblood, didn't they?
Yeah, you no longer have Bio 2, you only have Bio 3 and Miasma 3. They're also removing Miasma 2 for some odd reason. I mean, not an odd reason, most summoners, I don't think, really use Miasma 2. It's just there.
Okay.
Also, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Finish.
We also have access to Ruin 4. I don't remember there's a catch to using Ruin 4. I think your pet has to, like, give it to you. There's a 15% chance when your pet attacks you can cast Ruin 4 or something like that. I don't exactly remember.
That's an odd change, honestly.
I mean, I'm looking at this video, and it cycled past the house.
Ruin Mastery grants a 15% chance that Ruin 3 and Ruin 1 are upgraded to Ruin 4 after a pet uses a spell or weapon skill. So yes.
Ah, okay.
I'm guessing that also stacks with Bahamut.
It could.
It probably will.
So, alright. Thank you, Sora, for the summoner.
Not a problem.
You are still my sensei. As many people call me senpai. I have a sensei. Yeah, I have a sensei. Welcome, Hal.
Hi, guys.
How are you feeling?
I could be a bit better, but I just needed to come in for a couple moments.
Quick introduction here. We have Hal. He's part of also the Jaded Desktop, and he is our man also in the other side of the world.
Hello.
So, you wanted to add to the conversation?
Yes, I just want to quickly say that for the longest time since I started 14, I'd always stuck as a tank, and to be quite unfair to myself, I wasn't the best tank in the world. So one day I decided to do machinist just to see how it goes, and I absolutely fell in love with being a machinist. And honestly, some of the changes for machinist just makes me very excited for Stormblood.
Alright, it looks
Me
so
as well,
good.
actually.
The machinist changes look great. Like, you're turning into Bayonetta with a flamethrower.
Here, let me get the machinist video up so everybody can also drool along with you. So, what do you know about... Just tell us, unleash all the information on us, Hal.
Actually, I'll be right back.
Alright, yeah.
I am so sorry, I'm a bit wacky because of the painkillers that made me take. So
Yeah, I believe Hal
apologize in advance.
I believe Hal just came out of surgery a little while ago.
Yeah.
So,
I can
he
kind of
might
pick
be a
it
little
up for
loopy.
him. So, I can help pick it up for him if he needs it.
Yes, please, thank you very much.
So, for one thing, just like Bard, we no longer have cast timers. It's going to be kind of interesting because, you know, machinists... pre-50 machinists did operate without cast timers, but, like, pre-50 machinist is kind of weird to control. But, so, instead, Gospel is now replaced with the heat gauge, and if the heat gauge is basically just management, because I think each weapon skill generates a base amount of heat. I think it's like 10, unless stated otherwise. And most of it is now going to be based around keeping your heat between 50 and 100, because you get access to heat your basic combo rotation gets enhanced. And it's more about, I mean, I wouldn't say it's more about, but it kind of becomes more of a balancing rotation because you have things like barrel stabilizer, cooldown, flamethrower. They all heavily alter with the amount of heat you're currently generating. And this one's been pretty shaky since any real information has come out, but if I'm correct, overheating increases your DPS by 20% until it wears off, correct?
Oh, I read it as overheating actually reduces your DPS.
Yeah, the
by
tooltips
20%.
has been, like, people have been going back and forth. The tooltip has been kind of, like,
It's a mess.
weirdly translated, so let's just say overheating right now, as we know, either is or isn't going to apply to the rotation.
Wait.
Gracious,
Okay. What do you know about it, Tom?
Okay,
Go ahead.
well, from what I was able to just surmise just by reading the tooltips and seeing very simple gameplay, nothing, like, I didn't actually get to, like, have anybody explain it to me, I just kind of put it together in my head. You have ammo, which they reduced from 5 to 3, you have a little, like, gauge bar that will show how much bullets you built up, and you will have a heat gauge. The heat gauge is your toolkit, your entire toolkit that you have on, on your hip, and that's going to be also your gun. As you use abilities, or certain abilities, it may or may not build heat. Well, some abilities will build heat, some of them won't. Like, the basic rotational machinist to go, like, from, what is it, like, split shot to slug shot to clean shot, the regular thing, the 1, 2, 3.
The combo rotation.
Yeah, the regular combo rotation on its own will not build any heat. If you put on Gauss Barrel, it will increase the amount of damage you will do with those abilities, but it will also build heat. As you build heat, eventually your abilities, when you reach that, the 50% heat, and you
Your
start to
abilities
warm
become
up,
enhanced.
yeah. Instead of getting a split shot, you get a heated split shot. Instead of getting a slug shot, you get a heated slug shot. Instead of getting clean shot, you get a heated clean shot. And they'll be able to combo from one to the other, and they will do a little bit more damage. But that's the thing, you gotta make sure that you keep yourself kind of warm, but not overheating, but not too cool. You do have an ability called cooldown that will cool off your heat gauge, but it's all about managing the heat. So you're pretty much playing a game within a game. It's kind of neat, looks really cool, has some other cooldowns like flamethrower, barrel stabilizer. Flamethrower, by the way, as nice an AoE as it is, I am pulling up the ability right now. Here, let me find it in the video here. Let me read the exact tooltip, which is why it's kind of confusing me a little bit. Give me a sec. Oh, I'm using a video and the person is mousing over the abilities a little too fast. Okay, listen to this. Flamethrower delivers damage over time to all enemies in a cone before you. Potency 6. It's literally, that's what it says on a flamethrower on the tooltip.
Yeah.
Potency 6. I think it's supposed to be 60 or a different number, because I'm pretty sure 6 would not even kill a level 1 enemy at that point.
Yeah, that must be like a translation error or something.
Yeah, must be. But but that will also gradually increase your heat gauge will also gradually increase as you use flamethrower. So that's a nice way to do that's a great way to spend an ability for AoE, but at the same time it will cost you some heat. So while you're not really managing TP as much, you're going to be managing a little bit of TP, a little bit of heat, spending some heat, building some heat. You do have some really cool abilities with turrets, the Rook and the Bishop. There's still some weird translation issue because they do allow you to overload both turrets to let them explode and do a certain amount of damage. One will do single target damage, I believe. Another one will do AoE damage. But if you really don't like your turret, right, instead of redeploying it, you can just blow it up and make it do damage. I love it. That's the best thing ever.
I believe it
That
also
is amazing.
suffers a dissipation effect where you can't summon it for like 30 seconds.
Yeah. But it's
Also, just like Bard, we no longer can promote our turrets.
Which is
And we just have to
awesome.
use the TPMP stuff that we're getting in the crossroll system.
It was such a pain in the ass to learn how to do this stuff, and then the worst part is, let's say I'm doing, I don't know, I was doing Void Arc. I drop a turret for mana on one side of the field, and then we're all forced to run to the other. Hey, guess what? My turret is still there. I have to recast it and return on the mana generation. 2 extra steps, but I could be playing Bard and play Mana Song. So it's nice that Machinist gets that change. Just press A button and build or regenerate mana and TP. It's so nice.
Okay. Wow.
So
That's a lot to learn.
I just wanted to say
It really
in chat,
doesn't.
I don't know if they have a official source, but they said the flamethrower is supposed to be 60 potency.
Alright,
Okay,
so it
that's
is a
good.
translation error.
Because 6 potency would be nothing.
Yeah, 6 potency. Oh my god.
Oh, one more
Imagine
thing.
at 6 potency, it would just be like every single video game flamethrower, absolutely worthless.
One more thing to mention. Wildfire's duration is decreased to 10 seconds.
Yeah, so you really gotta get it, no pun intended, in the heat of the moment.
So, in the heat of the moment, huh?
The moment.
You're really taking this to quite a burst there, aren't you, Thur?
Also, another cool mechanic with the bullets. Aside from having a nice little sprite that shows how many bullets you have loaded, you're limited to loading up to 3 bullets at a time with reload that loads all 3 bullets. Quick reload just only loads 1. The cool thing is about them is that you can use the bullets to also decrease heat aside from also increasing damage. So let's say, for example, you're building a rotation, you have wildfire up, you turn on, God, what is that ability? That lets you like spam bullets back
Rapid
to back
fire.
to back. Yeah, rapid fire. Lets you just get them in quick succession back to back, but you don't want to overheat at that point. You just put on Gauss Barrel, load up 3 bullets, and just go for your regular combo, and then afterwards just try to spam as many insta-cast abilities, like quick cast abilities, as you can in there, to just build up the wildfire to as much as you can and let it explode. Although I do think with the duration of wildfire being decreased, it's going to be less likely will you use it. Because, I mean, like, if you can't squeeze all the abilities in together for that extra burst, it's gonna be a little unnecessary just to even pop it. I mean, I guess you can pop it in between, sorta. I don't know.
We'll figure it out. We got a week left.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone will theory craft like a rotation.
9 days until early access.
So, with that being said, thank you guys, because even
Yep.
I don't know much about machinists myself, but that sounds like something that we're all gonna have to just relearn and get used to. Once again,
to translate, it's I mean, it's in I can't speak. Sorry, morning. In Heaven's Ward, it's all about this intricate rotation. Now, just go lol, pew pew pew, done.
yay, pew pew. All right, so here comes-
I might pick up Bard Machinists now that they're dropping the whole cast times thing, because I thought the classes were fun when I try them out in pot D, but then you hit that level where it's like, well, for your optimal DPS, you now basically become a mage.
Oh yeah, actually, Thom, I was gonna ask you what your excitement was finding out that bards don't have cast times anymore, because
I'm very excited for that because I'm gonna be spamming spacebar to just jump around everywhere. I'm gonna be I'm gonna be that energetic bard though, just can't stand still. I'm gonna be just jumping in between rotations.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
guys. I'm going to be in a few trials with Thom, and I'm going to be recording. And in the background, you're just going to be see Thom just like do 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 do.
Just jumping back.
we have a friend in our FC who's excited that bards don't have cast times anymore, and he's wanting Stormblood to get out now.
All right, so let's get on to the healers. Let's go to our resident healer.
Oh lord.
Yeah, let's start with White Mage, because I know Judy has things to
Both
say
of
about
us.
that.
So, White Mage may had a change of some sort? Maybe?
Ooh, I don't want to touch that.
Alright, we should
Okay, let's.
you and me on this one.
Sir, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm reading off of maybe dated notes. But holy crap, White Mage got the shaft hard.
Well, okay. I've had a lot of time to think about this between when all of this information came to light and now, and it's upsetting. It's not upsetting. What's the word I'm looking for?
Disappointing.
Underwhelming? That's the one. It's just underwhelming. So, what White Mages... I mean, we most of us like White Mages, especially the salty White Mages, were like, oh, we lost all abilities. We didn't lose them. We just had to grab them. Which I guess makes less room for rescue.
Well,
We'll get to that in a bit.
Here's the issue about grabbing them. Mind you, at most, we can take 5 skills.
Right.
But there's 7 skills that are being taken away from us. One of them includes Protect and Stone Skin. So,
Stone Skin's being removed from the game.
okay, so sorry, Stone Skin 2. My bad. Unless Stone Skin 2
No.
is removed as well.
Both of them are being removed.
Oh, that's okay. So that actually.
What's being put in the cross system from White Mage is Protect, It's Protect, Divine Seal, Shroud of Saints, Cleric Stance. I think I'm missing one.
Swift cast.
No, that's black.
And no, but
you're talking about in general.
I'm talking about
from White Mage.
I'm talking about in general. Basically, the general White Mage ideal items to take from the role actions.
I will admit, when the first day on these White Mage changes, I was pretty upset, but now I'm just like, eh.
Oh no, I was actually really excited for White Mage, and then I realized how their stuff works, and my excitement just dropped immediately.
All right, we should probably get to that. So one of the things is Secret of the Lily, which you get at 52 now, and on healing Cure 1 and Cure 2, it's also been revealed a couple days ago that Cure 2 is a 100% chance.
Thank God.
You will get a Lily, and what these Lilies do is once you use a skill, it burns the lilies and it shortens the recast timer on Assize, Asylum, Divine Benson. I butchered that really badly, and Tetragrammaton.
So it's a little bit of a red mage skill.
It's a little bit of a red mage skill, but the issue being is that now White Mages have a lot more heals. But the way the game works is that we don't need to be healing 24/7. We should also mention the big healer change is Cleric Stance does not alter your stats anymore. It just works off mind. Yeah, the healer DPS now works off of mind, which, thank God now we don't have to worry about stance dancing.
Because of that.
I can't tell you how many times I've been stuck in Cleric Stance.
So all Cleric Stance does is increase your attack potency by 5% for 10 seconds, it was?
About 10-15 seconds, yes.
So it's no longer a permanent stance like, say, Defiance.
Nah, it's a cooldown.
So it's sort of like Raging Strikes for healers now.
Yeah.
Essentially, yes. It's
also,
if a bit weaker, because Raging Strikes in the 4.0 is going to be 10%, but Cleric Stance will only be 5%.
So now I don't play White Mage at all. I just got my Astro up to level 60 because I found that one more interesting. Sorry, White Mages.
You made a fantastic choice. Don't get me wrong.
But I also wanted to get your word in because I am very well aware that we missed one DPS. Jehudi.
Oh.
I know you're pressed for time, especially out of all of us.
Yeah, I've actually got about 8 minutes before I end up running off. So.
Yeah. So anyone wanna quote Jehudi on anything in terms of the White Mage?
Well, it's just, if anything, I play White Mage the second most out of all of us. It's just, among the things that happen to White Mage, not a whole lot, which, is fine, because that's the whole point of White Mage, but it's ultimately just underwhelming more than anything. I'm not mad about it anymore, I'm just kind of disappointed.
The fact of the matter is that while White Mages have, healing up the ass, we don't have any more utility. And in fact, what little utility we had, we either lost or it's basically non-existent.
Oh, jeez.
Which is the unfortunate part, because now we really can't do much other than heal. And
among other changes, though, Benediction, sorry. Got its cooldown reduced to 3 minutes, I believe, instead of 5 minutes.
I would say that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, it's a good thing, but you really can't rely on Benediction more than once in a fight.
Yeah, you can't rely on Benediction more than once in a fight. And going back to the Stone Skin thing, while we do have a shielding ability at level 66, it both requires lilies and for us to use all of them, and only for a barrier on one person.
No, it does not require. I don't think it requires lilies. All it does is reduce its cooldown. I think the translation is just there, so it works off lilies. But
okay. But still,
other than that,
it's still one barrier on one person every 60 seconds.
It's probably the thing you want to burn all of your lilies on.
Maybe. Yeah, that sounds about right. Other than that, we got our upgrades to our skills, so we get just Stone 4 and Arrow 2 and Arrow 3.
Yeah, I think we're losing Arrow 1 as well, for that matter.
Arrow 1 becomes Arrow 2, and Arrow 2 becomes instant cast, actually.
Oh, does it? Even okay, so
Yes.
that's one little thing.
Among other things, we got Thin Air, which reduces MP cost to 0 for 10 seconds on all spells.
Oh my god.
But yeah, other than that, it's just same old white mage.
Yeah, same old white mage, same old healing, and while I'm actually got my raging out a long while ago.
I think the thing we were kind of upset about is they were putting so much emphasis on changing white mage, but I realize now you can't really change white mage without making a new class out of it.
Exactly.
White mage is focused on healing and DPS when you can afford it, but you know.
Mainly
I don't think the other like white mages among us I think it's gonna be fine. It's playable. But
It's going to be different, and unfortunately, we're not going to be seen in the raid meta.
Yeah, it's still gonna be Scholar Astro.
Unless it's learning parties where white mage is going to excel at, we're not going to be seen in the raid meta anytime soon. But Sync, I'm pretty sure I sent you a gift. Do you mind showing us what's going to happen to most trolly white mages?
Oh, we almost forgot, didn't we?
Yeah, we almost forgot about rescue. By the way, the trolly white mage.
Talk about
JHT, you say
talk
that
about
we won't
healers
see
having
much
your
white
balls in the
mages in
vice
the meta.
You might.
Can you just imagine how many people are going to get pulled out of the fire, i.e., bad dragoons and monks?
No. I was about to say, do you imagine how many dragoons and black mages are going to be pulled into the fire because there's a very spiteful white mage in the party?
No, we jest, but rescue is an amazing skill.
Oh yeah.
Rescue's a fantastic skill, and by that matter, black mages also getting the ability to warp back to their lane lines. So what's going to happen is there's going to be this little tug of war that happens between white mages and black mages.
I see it more as a very immensely good synergy, where the black mage just gets to DPS harder, as they need to.
Exactly. You warp them out of there.
And you will teleport them out for a mechanic, and they will teleport back in. I find it actually... I mean, it sounds funny, but it's actually more useful than we're giving it credit for.
Yeah, in all honesty, I do see rescue being a very viable mechanic, especially in learning parties where if the white mage knows the raid mechanics, then they're able to effectively pull people out who are having issues or who don't get the raid mechanic just yet.
Or, again, pull dragoons out of bullshit because...
It is not my fault you stand in the bad. So, I will not adjust to you. I will not adjust to you.
It actually is our responsibility to pull them out of the bad now, so...
Damn it.
Sarah, how often do I stand in the bad, though?
20% of the time, but usually that's because you're, lagging or something.
Anyways, I wanted to talk a little bit about Scholar, but...
Alright, go ahead.
For time, so I will go ahead and see myself out. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Do we want to circle back and get Monk then?
We actually also forgot Black Mage if we're talking about that.
I took notice about that, and I missed it, by the way. I wanted to talk about the Monk in terms of what's happening to them, which, I mean, certainly they have gotten a lot more stronger, especially when... A lot more. Yeah, I know English, guys. They got a lot stronger. But, I don't know if I could see myself playing as them as of right now. I don't know.
That might be the samurai hype in you talking.
Probably.
But...
Shoot, man.
I mean, I feel like people that play Black Mages are gonna just stick to playing Black Mages. They'll just have more toys to play with. People that were never interested in Black Mage, they'll probably just kind of do the thing. Black Mage, if you really think about it, is a very, very niche class to play. Because, I mean, you're not providing utility, you're not providing buffs, you're not providing, songs, you're not providing mana recovery. You're literally there to just explode everything. And the only thing they're doing in Stormblood is getting more abilities so they can explode more.
Also... If I'm correct, you can fire 4 whenever now, because you don't have to have a Nokian up. Because if I'm correct, a Nokian is now just a damage buff rather than a gate ability.
I think if you have let me see. Yeah, I got a tooltip right here.
I don't play Black Mage.
Potency. I don't either, but I literally just have a video for this stuff so I can read off tooltips. Can only be executed while under the effect of both Enochian and Astral Fire. Nope, looks like Enochian will still be required apparently. Well, still
It'll probably just be easier to upkeep Enochian then.
They'll get things like Foul that they'll be able to build as they do the rotation. That's even bigger explosion.
If I'm understanding this correctly, however, you guys said that they don't they have Mana Ward?
Mana Ward, they have, I'm gonna butcher this, like, Apotheostasis.
That's still, like, is that, like, physical protection and magical protection, right?
Kind of.
But
except you can't apply Mana Ward to anyone else but yourself.
Oh. That's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
I could see why I don't
it is
ever
what it
see.
is.
I can see why I never see them in rotations ever.
It's literally just, you know, if they have to stand in an AoE, so they can actually live it, and the healers can save them.
Hey Thom, real quick, what videos are you looking at to get these tooltips?
Oh, here, let me go ahead and link it over there. It's
Thank you.
Mod on my Discord. So he just did an amazing link dump to all the information. Oh my lord, it's so good. Here you go.
Is it in picture and videos?
Yeah, I'll post it in the. I'll post it in. Let me see if I can find it here.
You put it in the.
Yes, in show yourself.
All right. Thanks a lot, dude.
I'm looking right now at the role abilities for Black Mage, and technically, I mean, if you know a Black Mage decide, you know, let's add some utility, let's help out a little bit, maybe every now and then in between explosions. They can technically grab Addle, which should work a little bit like Virus Break, which should be, I believe, a stun. They do have the ability called Mana Shift, where they transfer some of their own mana to others, like to a healer, which, since Black Mages recover mana like it's nothing, they could probably do that in between when they.
They're probably gonna be the ones you rely on for that.
Yeah,
since they don't really have to dip. I mean, they don't have as many problems with mana pools as, like, I mean, Summoner doesn't really have huge mana problems unless you're spamming Ruin 3 to, like, heaven. Which you shouldn't do.
But I mean, when you play Black Mage, you just literally go into the what is it called, the
Umbral Ice.
Yeah, the Umbral Ice, and it's like, hey, look at that mana back. Here you go, healer. I'll share my measly mana that I can recover, no problem.
And that's why you don't waste any of your magic regain abilities on a Black Mage. I have a little bit of Black Mage knowledge of myself because I'm actually leveling him. As of right now, I'm trying to get it up to level 60. I think I can get a Nokian. I think I passed that level and just never got a Nokian.
Nice job.
I still, like, I'm just literally past that level, and it's like, why don't you have a Nokian? Shut up. That's why.
Shut up.
Always a good reason to not have a skill that's, like, amazing.
Because shut up.
But I do know that when I was looking at the video, and they're like doing Fire 4s like all day and then a flare, I noticed that in that video they didn't do like flare, convert, flare, potion, flare. So that was like usually the AoE combo when you ended it all off.
In optimal rotation. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, in optimal.
But besides that, I mean, Black Mage is just Black Mage. Honestly.
Black Mage is Black Mage. I can't really add on to anything about the Monk. The Monk, it seems like it's just a lot faster to get into Grease Lightning. And in terms of Grease Lightning, it's basically what the Monk is, just to get, because they're pushing, I almost said mantra, chakra. They're pushing chakra on the Monk now. And I was hoping they would utilize that a little bit better. Because now you get chakra from just, you know, fighting with your people after a certain skill.
Mm-hmm.
And, I don't know, people were... This is supposed to be the Monk's expansion, and nobody's paying attention to it.
It's just because there's not much you can really add on to Monk without...
You can't... It's like, hey, you have a punch. You now have a spiky punch.
And you now have one... Oh, never mind. That skill doesn't exist. I mean, I like how we've gone all this time without mentioning rest in peace, the Lord and Savior of kind of useless skills, one own punch.
It's gone now.
Yeah, it's
But-
Or at least I hope it is.
Oh, it's not on this video, but let me see if they changed the tooltip for it. Maybe they
They
repurposed.
probably, I mean, they had to. No one used one own punch unless you were a
it's a stun
PvPer.
now. It's a stun now.
It's a stun.
oh cool.
Yeah.
So not only do they get one stun, but two stuns.
Yeah,
They
and
actually get
apparently the
three.
apparently the shoulder tackle, according to which fist of fire or whatever stance they
Oh
stand
yeah,
in,
they do
it
have
gets
three.
changed. So they get like wind tackle, earth tackle, and fire tackle. It's insane.
Oh my gosh.
You just reminded me of something. Can we just loop back around to Ninja for one moment?
What's up?
ahead.
They no longer have venom buffs.
Oh yeah, that's right. They don't. They only have one buff, don't they?
Just
Wait,
I
we don't
forgot to
have Kiss
mention.
of the Wasp or Kiss of the Viper anymore?
Nope. And so you can't change Jugulate anymore. That's all I wanted to mention. We can head back
So
to
hey,
one
now they're like it's either their ready for battle stance or their victory battle stance will no longer poison themselves. So that's fine.
All right. So what's this about the elemental tackles? I'll call them.
Yeah, the earth tackle, wind tackle, and fire tackle. According to the tooltip, it depending on the stance that you're standing in, it will do something different. In this video they have the stupid like helpful tooltips like monk, lightning gauge, and chakra gauge unlocked. Just like
I saw
like
that.
a little pop up. Yeah, it gets in the way. But for earth tackle, rushes target and delivers an attack with potency of 100, 10 yam knockback, and a stun. Let's see here. Fire tackle is going to be the same thing, rushing with potency 130. Also a stun, no knockback, does a little bit more damage apparently. And then wind tackle with a very low potency of 65. It's a stun, but also grants something called Riddle of Wind. Let me go back here and check it out what it grants for Riddle of Wind and see what Riddle of Wind is. Okay, Riddle of Wind is also another stun apparently with low potency. So it's like, you can either go with Earth Tackle, knock somebody back as a stun, they can go to Wind Tackle, stun one person, and then reuse the Riddle of Wind to stun another person, so like a double stun, or Fire Tackle, which is just it's just also a stun, but just does more damage. So it's like, Stun Master 9000 right here.
I am the Stun Master Monk.
That makes
There's
sense.
also this Riddle of Fire ability too I'm seeing, but I can barely read it because the Lightning Gauge and Chakra Gauge. But it's like,
Yeah.
Well,
increases, it's a damage buff.
I have the video set up on stream right now. Holy mackerel! What the? There was just like 5 boards on screen for a second there. Oh
What?
my god! You'll see.
It's like you're plugging yourself to the reactions video again.
You'll see it. You'll see it. It's just like, okay, let's have a bunch of tackles, which probably makes it work for the
Yeah.
monk. So
I mean, it will make him
they
actually
have
sit
no
in other
range,
stances.
so they gotta have
Wow,
close-
okay.
closing.
See-
So with all of the tackles, does that mean that I can just basically be what's it, like a Ippo?
maybe.
Oh yeah, Ippo from Hajime no Ippo. But Ippo.
Yeah, that's the only Ippo I know of.
I mean, there are other Ippos.
Alright,
So
That's the only
then.
Ippo I know of.
Yeah.
what's up?
Nothing. I thought we should just keep
Get up.
the pace going.
So
Alright.
we already talked about Scholar, did we?
No, we talked about
We're
White
about
Mage.
to, but
We were about to, and then we looped back to the DPS.
Okay. So
Yeah, we needed to finish up the last of the DPS just so we wouldn't like have any blank spaces.
I wanted to get Jehudi's complaint out of the way.
Yeah,
In
and he
terms,
certainly did.
in terms of Scholar, I have no idea. I
Um,
got level 60 Scholar because Summoner. There you go.
Yeah. In terms of things that have changed, they have the summoner thing now with Bane, which is actually a little more upsetting on Scholar than Summoner. You can live. And
do we have any
Go ahead.
confirmation on what that like move where the fairy is linking with someone is doing? Is
It's
that healing over
called-
time?
Fey Union.
It's called Fey Union. Let me pull it up right here.
Is that a
It's
heal over time?
actually it's a skill called Ether Pact, and it's kind of like an Enkindle for your fairy.
Okay.
Fey Union gradually restores HP of a party member of which has Fey Union.
Oh no. Oh, that Shades of Mistweaver Monk. I gotta pick up Scholar now. Anyway.
And
Go on.
and that's it. Yeah, it's a healing tower, so pretty much.
So basically, fairies are even more useful.
Yeah.
They've never been useless. I know
Yeah.
that all too well. But
Until
That's
they
why
go aggro.
dissipation is a very fringe skill.
And you mean worthless?
No, it has its applications. So, like Summoner, it's down to 2 dots. I believe Ruin 1 just becomes Broil now, and Broil becomes Broil 2.
Okay.
They also have Change Stratagem, which I believe is, increased rate in which target takes critical hits by 20%. And that stacks with other effects, if I'm correct.
So
Now, what do you mean by target? Is it just anybody they can actually target? Can they just
I think,
hey tank, here you go, critical.
No,
critical
I think it's
weakness.
an enemy target. Like, when you target an enemy, their getting crit rate increases by 20%. So it's just for everyone who targets that enemy.
Interesting. Lots of crit abilities. Now that I think about it.
They also got a heal. I'm gonna butcher this. Exo. I can't even. I'm not even gonna try. I'm gonna butcher it.
Excogulation, I think.
Yeah, we would have butchered that so badly. You place it on an ally, and when their health dips to below 50%, it does a 650 cure potency. A cure potency heal on them, and which I like. I like the idea of preemptive healing. It's something that I think a lot of healers kind of struggle with sometimes. And the fact that there's an ability that can kind of help out newer players, or even kind of more mid-tier players, is kind of good. I don't foresee myself using it all that often, but it's nice that we have it. Other than that, Scholar seems to be about the same.
Yeah, there's nothing really changed about it. I do want to say that it's easier for me to get into. I've always had I always had problems with using deployment tactics right.
Yeah, you get used to it. Also,
the way you use it right is just not use it.
Just don't
No,
use it.
you use it.
No, you're supposed to use it, right?
Yeah. Are you talking about emergency tactics?
There you go, that's what.
Because deployment tactics is actually the one that spreads Eloquium.
That too. Both of them, honestly. I'm not.
Deployment tactics is a little easier if you're timing it for a phase change or the beginning of a fight. Emergency tactics is for if you have the accursed double scholar comp. Other than that, Scholar's about the same. They lose Virus, unfortunately, because it's being split into 2 entities.
Yeah, but at least casters gain it, so
that's fine.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be. It's probably not gonna be a skill they take very often, but
Probably.
all right. I think that's about all we can cover for Scholar. I guess we can move on to Astro. And how about this? I actually don't have a max Astro.
You don't have a max Astro?
Yeah, I don't have every healer max, says the healer main.
I have maxed Astro.
Yeah, same me.
Yeah,
same here.
What kind of blasphemy?
I mean,
so
I've never
can't
touched
really
Astro, so
I can't really talk about some of the old things that are changing on Astro. All I can talk about is the stuff we know that's coming. And I don't remember what the skills are called, but
I got them right here. I can read them out. One
Okay,
at level
go ahead,
62
Tom.
is called Earthly Star. Do you want me to read out the info for it?
go ahead.
all right.
Okay,
go
deploys
ahead.
an Earthly Star and grants the effect of Earthly Dominance. Last 10 seconds. Executing Earthly Star while under the effect of Earthly Dominance creates Stellar Burst, dealing unexpected damage with a potency of 150 to all nearby enemies also restores HP of nearby party members for 675 cure potency. After 10 seconds, Earthly Dominant effect is changed to Giant Dominant, so it's like changes phases. It lasts also 10 seconds. Executing Earthly Star while under the Giant Dominance creates Stellar Explosion, dealing unexpected damage with a potency of 200 instead of 150, and also restores HP to nearby party members from 675 to 900 cure potency.
Holy crap.
Yeah, so it's like a star explosion within a bigger star explosion. It is insane.
I have it open now.
Badasses.
So let's just call it Supernova.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. They also get new cards in the form of Minor Arcana.
Yeah,
Which
2 new ones, I believe?
Yeah, which converts whatever card you've drawn into either the Lord of Crowns or the Lady of Crowns. The Lord of Crowns deals a 300. Potencies may change. The Lord deals an attack to an enemy, and the Lady heals your party members.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, it's good if you have if you draw Yor and you just don't have anything to do with it.
So I can see the extra heal being useful, but why would you want to burn a buff into a attack?
Well, there's some times where you'll just get the card that you not only do not want to Royal Road or even burn or even discard. Like, oh, by the way, they're getting their spear.
You just get spear. You just use Minor Arcana. It's like, who needs a spear? Give me
Spear.
a Lord
All right,
lady.
it's Lord. All right, it's at that point you've turned a card you don't want into at least an attack. So at least you're applying DPS.
Okay.
And
That's always good.
now that I'm thinking about it, there's also getting a dedicated button to discard, if I'm correct. So you no longer have to make a status off macro.
Nice. Because, I'm definitely gonna get into Astrologian a lot more now that I have a healer. I've been trying to get a healer for the longest time, and I think in terms of Astrologian, I believe it's the most newbie friendly out of all the healers. No, maybe it's the White Mage. It's still the White Mage.
White Mage.
Yeah, in terms of
Astro is kind of unwieldy to play if you don't know what you're doing.
It's like the step above, because I always thought Scholar was the hardest healer to master.
I'd say Astro is because you have a lot more to manage on top of healing.
What you talking about? You're playing dual monsters. What's so hard about it?
Everyone making the joke about the dual disc.
Well,
Yeah, I mean-
Astros have the best duel.
I gotta say, I'm not the best healer. I mean, I took on A4S. We were doing just a clearing party for fun, and I realized only after I cleared it that I was healing as Astrologian with a level 50 ring on, the Ironworks ring, so I can't really say anything much about my healing skills, as I'm pretty terrible. But what I do like about Astrologian is it feels like a more fun healer. You're not just sitting there thinking, okay, heal, being a heal
It's
bot.
more proactive than reactive.
Yeah, and according to the type of cards that you draw, you can either add a balance, you can throw out a bow. If you burn the cards, you get special buffs for them to create better combinations. Burn, let's say, Aspire or Ewer, and then you draw a balance on Arrow. That's instant buffs for everybody, and that utility is really fun and playful, and that's something kind of fun about it. It's very non-standard heal bot. It's very like, ooh, look at this, I got a buff, here you go Bard, here you go Black Mage, here you go Arrow to the monk, oh, you out of TP? Sorry, here's Aspire.
Basically,
don't arrow the
you're
monk.
a lot more involved. You're a lot more involved compared to a White Mage, where it's just like boop, 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 boop.
Dots.
AoE heals, dots, AoE
Heal,
heals.
regen, turn on clearance stance, spam,
Yeah.
whatever.
And then swap out all that good stuff.
That
Right.
almost sounds boring, but I'm gonna
Alright, the one thing I can't discern is sleeve draw. There's 70 skill. Executes draw, Royal Road, spread, and minor arcana in succession.
You just put a sleeve on your cards, man. You gotta put
No, but I'm
sleeve on
like
your bowls, so keep it.
I feel like, is it kind of like, I don't understand how it works.
I think that's.
I think the only,
I was gonna say that.
I think it just draws. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it sounds like just 3 abilities all in succession, so that you'll have your whole your dual disc ready. I'm sorry. I love Astro. Please don't take it the wrong.
No, I can tell that you do. Like, that's not. I'm
love
not
that.
even sure how it's gonna work though.
It's like, hey, let me get my cards ready. Do. And it seems like you'll have everything at your access right there with that ability.
Well,
All of
everything's better with a dual disc.
Yeah, everything, but it's like gonna be random, obviously, but it's all there.
Yeah.
Other than that, that's all I can really say about Astro because I don't play them that often.
Oh, Sarah, not to interrupt your tangent, but I found your
It's not really
sister.
a tangent.
I found your sister in the Archer quest line.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Besides that, though, I guess it's time to move on to the tanks, and,
Yes.
Woo!
should we start with the birthday boy that seems to be Paladin?
Oh, dude, dude, I wish Hal was still in here. He was excited for like the big ability that paladins can do, where they can just have giant energy wings spread out and protect the entire party behind them.
Okay,
Our
go
summon
ahead.
was successful, guys.
Okay, so this is where my giddiness comes in, because I love Paladin, and I just... Okay, let's just say I was drooling a little bit. Just a little bit when I saw the abilities that were coming out. Only because, they really didn't change much for Sword Oath. I mean, I guess it's still, you know, Sword Oath. But I think they're just gonna try and make Paladin more relevant.
I'm sorry, Saint, you play Paladin?
I do.
I've only ever seen you play Dank Knight.
Yeah.
My
We'll
Paladin...
get to that.
I mean, what do you think? How do you think I started with it? I didn't start with a Dark Knight.
True.
I'll
You
start with
didn't?
one-
I just
No,
thought
but-
you were born an edgelord.
No, but it seems like,
I was born in
you know, if their
darkness.
job was to make Paladin relevant again, mission accomplished, honestly.
No
What
kidding.
it- I don't know if it's going to change the major raid comp at all, but you know what? I'll give him that. Paladin looks fun to play now. And I say that, and I hate leveling Paladin, even though it's leveling Paladin. Although, I may have to go back on that word, because if I'm correct, Shield Oath is now the 30 skill, and not Sword
Yes,
Oath.
that's what I love. That the
Wait,
fact that they
so you're
actually
saying
put
that-
the tank stance at level 30, like all the other tank stances are at level 30, instead of putting it at like level, what was it, level 35 or level 40 before?
40.
It was at level 40, which made no sense. And when they said, let's put it at 30, I think somebody in Yoshi P's office was like, hey, do you think this makes
You're
sense?
fired. You're fired.
Yes.
This is
Looking
like,
forward to being fired.
it's like somebody was
Let's
like,
put Shield Oath at 30. You make too much sense. Get the hell out of my office.
Look out.
Back to the Pachinko mines with you.
it's like, hey Steve, did you get
We're
that?
sending you over. We're sending you over to Konami.
Ooh, taking jabs right now, aren't we?
Ooh.
All right. Well, I mean, I don't
All
know
right.
much about Paladin, so this is kind of your expertise, I'd say.
Okay, so what they did for Paladins is that they decided to take a DPS, decided to take something from the DPS and put it onto, like, no, they took something out from the aggro, which was Royal Authority, and it didn't make sense why it was in there, because it didn't give you, like, enmity at all, so they put it in with the other DPS, which made sense because it did the most potency, if I'm correct, like 320 Royal Authority. It did 320, and it was in the aggro line. So a lot of people were either using it when they were safe to use it, but at the same time, when we did our DPS rotation and combo skills, we went into Goring Blade, which was all fine for a dot, I guess, but it wasn't like a big hit. And I believe one of the other major changes in Paladin, they made Sword Oath, for me, a little bit more relevant. They even gave us a tiny little holy, just a splash, splash a little holy in there.
Sync. The ability I was talking about is called Passage of Arms, and it increases block rate by 100% and creates a cone behind you.
Yes.
Which party members will only suffer 85% of all damage inflicted.
And I believe that is the level 70 skill.
It is.
And
I wonder if that stacks with a Scholar Bubble.
I hope.
Probably does.
Yeah,
Probably will.
yeah, I don't see any mitigation from that. I think you can actually, like, if you guys think about it, from you white mages out there, if you add all the buffs that doesn't mitigate from anybody else, you hide behind the tank, and you know what? What the hell? Somebody's covered at the same time, and everybody's behind the paladin. How safe?
That honestly
do you
would
think...
kill the paladin, I assume.
I don't know if it will kill the paladin. Hopefully it doesn't.
Yeah, I like to call. I'm just gonna call the ability Red Bull
But
because it gives you wings.
the fact that I don't know how far that cone spreads behind them, but I do know that is going to be a fun ability for me.
It has to be at least a decent area.
I mean, if you think about it, like, what if we're doing like A12 Savage,
Oh shit.
and we're getting to the point like, oh crap, we after the burn, after the DPS little section, we have
The
to go
ad
through.
phase.
Yeah, at the ad phase. I'm sorry, I'm losing my mouth. After the ad phase, and we're going into the. So did we kill him fast enough? It's like, I don't know. Let me throw up this shield just in case, so we're all protected here.
You realize Divine Judgment does like a million damage, right?
It does.
I mean, if we're having trouble beating A12 Savage in Stormblood, I think we got bigger issues.
Disband.
Yo, man, why are both the healers asleep?
Oh god.
God.
What? They were doing DPS damage the whole time. Jeez.
We're allowed.
No, you're not.
Damn it.
But I'm kind of glad. Oh, it does 360 potency. That they actually put Royal Authority into the DPS combo instead of just like keeping it in aggro. I didn't understand that for the most part. It didn't make sense. I'm sorry. It just didn't make sense to me.
All good.
Understandable.
You don't need to apologize. It didn't make sense to me either.
And he plays these classes.
Paladin right after I play Warrior, so it's like I'm looking at it, I'm like, yo, Warrior has all of their skills that combo into each other and make sense and stuff. I look at it. Why is this skill here? What do you do?
Yeah. I do like
It
also.
looks cool though, so that's why I use it.
I do believe they're also either they're making Paladin a better healer or they're better at being healed. I'm not looking off of anything right now. I think it's that they're a better healer at it, or I think they're better at being healed 20%. I believe it's a level 68 skill.
Pull it up here, Rick Cast. Okay. Delivers an attack with potency of 350. Potency decreases its own MP decreases, so the more mana you have, the more potency you'll have. Additional effect increases attack magic and healing magic potency by 20% if current MP is at 80 or higher.
So
I guess
yeah,
they just do it for themselves.
that is a self buff.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess they're better at healing for some reason, even though they're a tank and they're too busy. No, I guess they can heal themselves in the middle. Helps them out.
Leave them alone. They're trying their best.
Leave Paladin alone!
They do
Does that
have Holy
affect
Spirit, so
Does that
that
affect
maybe.
other healers targeting you?
No, it looks like it only affects just the Paladin.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a self buff.
Yeah, it looks like just a DPS buff kind of thing.
So, Kazan, it's your turn. Go ahead and splurge on the warrior.
Yes, I get.
Oh, I like
Okay.
how... you did mention me for a second. I'm like, wait a minute. You better mention me for this, because I'm
Yeah,
super
Well,
pumped about
it's
this.
time for you two to go crazy on Warrior.
First big
Well-
part about this whole thing is the shoulder tackle. I don't know why I love the shoulder tackle so much but it's just because
But you think
finally
about
get a
shoulder
gap
tackle on Warrior makes sense.
we get a gap closer pretty much compared because just about every other class has a gap closer. We don't. All we have is Tomahawk, and Tomahawk is like it's just a mid-range ability. It's not a shoulder tackle. But yeah, that's the
Now
big
I feel
part.
that
And then
Paladin needs something similar to that now.
also I do love the beast.
Shield
I do love yeah
Tackle.
shield tackle. And then we're getting the beast gauge, which is awesome. Like it's probably one of the cool parts about that because all of our good abilities like Fell Cleave and whatnot rely on that beast gauge.
You mean Fell Cleave.
Yeah, well, no, there are a couple of actually pretty great abilities that I've been looking at. pretty much there are two other abilities we can use with the Beast Gauge. There is Upheaval, which does more potency the more HP we have, and we also have Shake It Off, which removes all detrimental effects, which is awesome. But these are all like 64. This is like 64, 68 abilities. But Felcleave, yeah, everyone, including myself, is very excited for the fact that we can do up to 6 Felcleaves, because yeah, we get to stack. Because not only can we do 4 Felcleaves from the Beast Gauge, because each costs 20 points. 20 points on the Beast Gauge. We can also do an extra 2 because of stacking Deliverance up, and then using Infuriated to get ourselves just instant stacks right there. We are losing some abilities like Foresight and I think Raw Intuition. When I think Raw Intuition is losing its potency, Storm's Path and Storm's Eye are changing their abilities too. Storm's Eye is going to be the only debuff ability, while Storm's Path is going to bump up how much meter of the Beast Gauge we have. And it's going to be
Gauge.
Yeah. And yeah, they're changing around. They're getting rid of some. Also, we no longer have Bloodbath, which, to be fair,
sucks.
it sucks for tanks because we don't put out a lot of damage because we're only designed to take punches.
You say that, but have you ever gotten a triple cleave off with Bloodbath active?
Yes, I have, and it's great.
It's beautiful.
But we are losing Bloodbath, and they're giving it to other classes. And then what else? That's really all. That's all of the big changes of Warrior, but they are turning Warriors into badasses.
You're also losing Brutal Swing, if I'm correct.
We are instead going to be cross-classing Low Blow.
I guess we should get into to Dark Knight now then.
Oh, also, with
with
the removal of Foresight, we are getting Rampart instead of Foresight,
which is all right. Which makes no sense if you really think about it, though, since seeing as how we don't have a shield.
Well, Rampart's a lot better of an ability than Foresight to begin with.
No, I'm saying because the way Rampart, like at least the animation for Rampart.
Yeah. Yeah, we just get a set of shields in front of us.
Oh, by the way.
Your tank LB, you don't summon shields, you just hit the ground really hard and make a...
I have a question, though. It's like for Bloodbath. Is Bloodbath going away in its entirety?
DPS.
It's going to be given to DPS.
Yeah, it's a role class.
Because I was like, wait a minute. That means I can't tank Ozma as a Dragoon anymore when all of the tanks are still alive.
You love Bloodbath. Also, Sean brings up a good point. Raw Intuition doesn't grant stack or gauge anymore.
Which means it's useless.
Yeah, it's pretty much useless.
Yeah,
I said that as a joke once, and people started laughing, and then I'm like, no, I'm actually being serious now that I think about it, because only thing you use Raw Intuition for is to get your triple cleaves. If it doesn't give you any stacks or what the stack replacement is, what's the point?
Oh, also our abilities like Unchained, Steel Cyclone, and Inner Beast take up 50 points of the gauge.
Right.
Those are also worthless now because it's better to use Felcleave.
Even though Inner Beast is better for tank, is kind of useful for tanking. It kind of helps with tank busters.
Yeah, but
go ahead.
Yeah, you got a good point.
I do wanna backpace a little bit.
What's up?
There is something that I did miss in terms of what's going on for Sheltron for Paladin.
Oh.
Like it blocks, it still blocks the next physical attack, but it gives like MP back. So I'm thinking Paladin is going to be another magical tank, kind of like.
Oh yeah, we forgot to mention that they can block magic now.
Yeah, they're blocking magic now, which makes a lot more sense because now the shield makes more sense.
Which is honestly, wasn't that one of the biggest reasons why the tank comp became Warrior Dark Knight?
Yeah. The magical vulnerability on a Paladin wasn't so great, was it?
Hey man, just block it. Just block the Death Flare. Block spells with the shield.
They block the physical damage. They can be a wall, a steel fortress against like anybody physical, but when it comes to magic, they're like, hey man, I'm Superman, I can do anything. Oh, but you're weak against magic. Here you go.
It's basically all the comics where Superman is saying, "Hey, look at me, I'm the best," and then someone's like, "But kryptonite." He's like, "But shut up." But kryptonite is a planet full of water in this comic book.
Yeah, and I also forgot to mention intervention, which is not. It's like cover, but you don't have to be next to anybody, which reduces a party member's damage taken by 10%, and it apparently increases when you're when you have the effect of Rampart or Sentinel on, so it increases by 50%. So that's pretty good.
Not to get off this, but I see someone in the chat saying raw intuition isn't useless, and it's saying it doesn't. It's like it won't be parry anymore.
You're right.
I want you to explain how does that make it more useful. The only reason we use
raw
it
intuition
is
is still a okay. I'm gonna play the defense on this. Raw intuition is a good skill. Like it's not an amazing skill, but it's not an amazing skill, but its use actually has a very good use case.
It does help. It does help with getting 5 wrath stacks and stuff like that, but it helps with and it increases how much you parry per attack and all that good stuff.
Yeah, no, but the reason I use it would stay on my buff bar and not on my main bar, if not for the fact that it gives me stacks and I can use it to triple cleave. Because how often are you really tanking as a warrior unless you're doing 4-man content?
Actually, a lot more than you'd think.
Yeah, I say that, and then I remember all the runs of Dunscape and stuff that I've had to tank. Because guess what? Freaking people that are paladins and dark knights can't tank. Nothing against sync, but I swear I've run into a bunch of people playing either paladin that drop aggro somehow. Like, I have to wonder how you lose aggro as a paladin.
Those are fighting words. Should I abuse my mod powers?
Calm down, it's okay.
Alright.
I'm not saying you guys are bad, I'm just saying I've run into an exceptionally high number of bad paladins.
Listen, they get potentially 8 fell cleaves. Potentially.
Yeah, that's with a lot of mastery. You have to master your rotation to be able to pull off that many fell cleaves.
But there is something that we should not miss. Obviously, is the actions that now the tanks have to share, which is Rampart, Low Blow, Provoke, Convalence, Anticipation, and Reprisal. You're welcome. Taking my stuff.
Salty.
Away.
Taking my shit and leaving the house.
Just taking my Low Blow. Why'd you take my leg, man?
I mean, like I said, Rampart's a lot better of an ability than Foresight.
And now it's just a stun.
Okay, so do we wanna move on to Dark Knight?
Actually, can I get in one more thing with the cross rolls on tank? People have been kind of going back and forth on one of them Shirk, and it diverts 25% of your enmity on a current target.
That's okay.
I mean, it's cool. I mean, in a way of making a tank swap easier to accomplish if you're kind of a mid skill tank. Which is fine. It's actually a very good skill.
We can actually roll that in while talking about my main class, the
Dark Knight. This is all you, man.
The Dank Knight.
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like I was castrated, and
okay.
And I'm now a belt. Not because I think they really nerfed Dark Knight here.
Take it up with the white mages. I'm just kidding.
I feel like they really nerfed the Dark Knight in not the biggest way, but they did. Now we have to choose between what roles we're gonna have to take among the ones that were not stolen, I guess, but shared now. Because 3 of those shared abilities is Rampart, Convalence, and Provoke, which is from the Paladin, which everybody really needs Provoke and Convalence if you're that kind of person. Low Blow, Anticipation, and Reprisal. I mean, okay, you took our parry, our stun, especially our stun. I think warriors also don't have a stun, right?
Warriors
they lost
to
brutal
a stun.
swing.
So now they have to have a low blow if they want to stun. Meanwhile, Paladin still has shield bash, which
sucks because I love the animation on Brutal Swing, and when like going back all the way to the Marauder quest line, it's like go break boulders with like a Brutal Swing. It's like this was pretty
Great.
cool.
I got a good
I'm
laugh
just
out of that.
but
It's literally just swing your axe and bust down boulders. I'm like, yep.
But they did take a lot from the Dark Knight, and now I have to choose between what I want back. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna go for Provoke, Ultimatum. If I'm in like a raid, I will use Shirk. Shirk is actually a good way to tank swap with the Dark Knight.
I'd imagine you only take that during raids, though. You just turn that off for everything else.
Yeah, I only take it during raids. Everything else, I would.
During raids?
Yeah, I'd take that with raids. And turn it off when I'm not using it and replace it with something else. Like, maybe I'll take a Rampart because I only have 2 defensive skills that involves physical damage now, which is stupid.
But do you still have Dark Dance?
We have Dark Dance for parry.
I mean, that's in a way a defensive skill.
It's still a parry. Okay, you get a better parry chance. It's not really like, hey, you're going to take all this physical attack from everywhere, and you can now shield yourself. Which, I'm not too miffed about that. I'm only miffed at the fact that, they seem like they dumbed down the Dark Knight to make other tanks more relevant. Good thing for them, bad for me, since I want to still be relevant in Final Fantasy XIV. I don't want to be left in the dust. But I guess what they give us in terms of skills, I can kind of just say, maybe I can forgive you. I mean, there's a bunch of, it's not really much that has changed except for placement of different skills going to different levels. Some things being taken out. Something like we don't have delirium anymore. Well, we do. We have delirium, but it's now something else. It's not the same delirium.
Delirium unsuspected.
Like it's not part of our DPS rotation anymore. We only have 2, and we can just add on to that with our skills with the Black Blood gauge, which we haven't talked about the gauge yet. But with the Black Blood gauge, we have like a couple new skills that we can use. We now have to use not only the gauge, which we gain a little bit after using certain moves. Makes sense. Some moves require the Black Blood gauge, if I'm saying that right. So the one thing I do want to say though is that Blood Spiller is a beast, because you can be in Grit at the same time, use Dark Arts, and that's 650 potency damage, which is the only skill I've seen where you have to be in Grit to actually do a hell of a lot of damage. So you still have your you still have like your stance swapping, for which you can still use Carve and Spit and Dark Arts. That's still the same. And that's still a whopping ton of damage, but now they put in Blood Spiller, which not only uses the blood gauge, but you have to be in Grit for you to do that 650 potency damage. So they're pretty much egging us on to stay in DPS, or not DPS, in tank stance, which I'm fine with, which I'm good with.
Just to interrupt you real quick, is all you have to do is get that was the I-160 coat, or get another long sleeve like coat type jacket, get a nice covering hat, get some pants and some boots, and then boom, freaking Bloodborne over here.
This guy.
So
I don't know.
You should have seen that one coming.
Oh, hold on, what, Noon2?
Oh, I was just gonna ask, Thurrail, do you play Dark Knight at all?
Oh yeah, I love it. In my personal opinion, I don't really mind. I mean, I don't play it as religiously as some, Dark Knight mains do.
Hello.
But I see. Hi. So I can't exactly say I feel as terrified of the changes or anything compared to, like, let's say Bard. I flip out, and I understand, if you play a main and you see major drastic changes happen, obviously it's gonna freak you out. I do like the fact that Dark Knight can get interject and actually finally silence. Oh my god, I'm used to playing tanks in World of Warcraft, and each tank always has a silence. And came to
Oh,
Final
yeah.
Fantasy 14, it's like, wait, whoa. What do you mean Warrior doesn't have a silence? What do you mean Dark Knight doesn't have a silence? Why is this a thing? Square plus fix.
They
Yes,
have
no,
done,
but-
and you're
so-
happy with it.
no,
So
no.
Thumb,
yeah.
you aren't
Go-
a true. You're not a true edgelord. You haven't reached edginess, maximum edginess yet.
Oh, darn. But I do like the introduction of the resource bar, especially for tanks, because
hell.
as a Dark Knight, I almost found myself that if I run out of mana, I can recover that. I can do decent with that. If I run out of TP, there better be an ninja nearby to pop that gold, because otherwise I am screwed. But I'm so glad that these new resource bars are being added, because while we are building the resource for this extra resource bars, like for the Dark Knight, the Dark Energies or whatever, when we use the blood gauge, whenever we use abilities that do spend a blood gauge, it lets our TP recover just a little bit, so that we're not constantly spending TP over and over and over, and mana over and over and over. We're building the extra resources so we can spend a little TP, a little mana, a little bit of the blood gauge, and I kind of like that. It lets our TP stay at least not dead for longer. It's kind of nice, and I'm very excited for this change in particular, especially for tanks. I still don't know what the Paladin one does. I sort of understand what Warrior one does, but the Dark Knight, I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, okay, you know what? Doesn't look too bad. I'm just gonna, blast some Linkin Park crawling in my skin, and blast, just tearing up everything.
He's not wrong.
While also listening to the soundtrack, of what was it? Never mind.
Okay. Sean Perrin does make a point in chat. We do not have Dark Dance. It's called Anticipation, so we lost our parry, but we still have our magic vulnerability up ability, so I'm fine with that.
But yeah,
Lost
Thom,
a
one of the,
parry? Psh, who needs parry?
But to add on to what Thom said, interject is cool. We get the silence, but I never silence. I just stun.
Are you kidding me? It's such a good skill. It's like, first of all, just whenever you can, just silence it. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's my World of Warcraft mentality, but the tank would always be in my raid party. It was always the tank to do the first silence, then it was the hunter, then it was the rogue. It was like a priority thing. Silence was on cooldown. You gotta make sure you got that thing ready. If you miss it, it's like you get shamed. It's like, oh, Paladin, no, why'd you not silence? I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm terrible.
Yeah.
And then group wipes.
Someone who also came from WoW. If you don't stun or silence, you're gonna die to that tank buster, and it's gonna be your fault.
Yeah.
oh yeah, Thom,
Listen.
like being a warrior in 14, TP management is essential, because if you don't, because you can't exactly tank with only 80 TP.
Oh yeah, I know. Which is why I'm so glad that Warrior also gets their own resource bar too.
Oh yeah,
kind of give
Yeah.
slack. Just all tanks get that extra resource bar, just so that I have to constantly spend TP on everything.
Well, I mean, in the sense of where Dark Knight is going, I like the fact that they have their own resource bar, and at the same time, I have to give it to them for the whole. I have to think about which moves I have to put in as a role. Like I said, I was gonna definitely get Provoke and Ultimatum, and let's talk about Ultimatum. That is so good. It's basically an AoE Provoke.
Oh yeah, that's really good.
So you say you're like,
Or a Warrior Overpower that
Yeah.
works too.
yeah, we could use that. We could use Unleash, but I think maybe it's the same radius with the regular AoEs. It might be a little bit farther. I'm not really sure. But Ultimatum is basically your new Provoke AoE, and I think all tanks should have that, just in case somebody decides, maybe it's a good time for me to just DPS that one untargetable enemy over there, or maybe I just don't care about what everybody else is targeting. I'm just gonna go ahead and hit him with a few things. Oh wait, I'm a black mage. Oh wait, I do 20,000 damage. Oh wait, my aggro's going up and I don't have quelling strikes. So, I find that in dungeons all the time, so I'm thankful for Ultimatum. I don't know what I would use, maybe Convalescence, maybe add the Rampart in there to get a third cooldown. I don't know. I don't know if I want to interject, Thom. I don't know.
I mean, honestly, in order to generate aggro for Dark Knight, it's really not that hard. Blood Price, we used to have Bloodbath, but I wouldn't really worry about it at this point since we don't have it. And I would just honestly spam Unleash for that extra aggro, or Pop Salted Earth, Abyssal Drain, and literally just spend mana while listening to Evanescence on blast.
I can't play that right now. I get copyrighted. But yeah, I understand that. The one thing that I can say for Ultimatum, though, just to defend it, is that it's a provoke. So you'll immediately go to the top of the bar. In terms
I'm saying it's really good. I'm saying it's really, really good. I'm glad they have it. But personally, myself, as playing Dark Knight, I never really had trouble grabbing aggro.
How soon do we get it? Can Paladins finally tank Sastasha?
Not gonna happen.
I mean, it's still gonna flash, which is like a weaker version. They just say, "Hey, I'm over here. Look at me." That's literally what Paladin does. It just makes a little flashy thing that annoys the enemies. It's like, oh, damn it, kill that thing, quick. Kill it before it blinds us.
Burn it in fire. Burn it with flames. So,
but
I think
that covers all the classes, right?
Yeah, I think we've gotten down to all the classes, and that was like the biggest fluff out of everything.
Yeah, definitely.
So, in general, how do we feel about the things that we're gonna get in Stormblood? The new mounts, the swimming, the big cities that we all know.
I honestly am excited for swimming.
Oh.
Glorious dome and steel.
I can't wait to kill more Alamegans. I mean, help the Alamegans to a quick and painless death.
That sounded genocidal.
Huh?
I don't like Alamegans for the fact that they try to offer me up to a primal. And because all of the other Alamegan questlines in Little Alamigo, they all suck. They're like Moogles. Besides the fact that the Moogles at least deliver mail. If it wasn't for the Mog Station giving me mail from Moogles...
this up on screen, is this the new job gear?
No, that's the gauges.
The character is doing a twirl, so...
Oh,
anyway.
It might be the job gear as well. I do have a video for that, too.
But here's hoping, like, fingers crossed, right? That
it looks like
combat underwater is something like Monster Hunter 3.
Yeah. No.
There isn't.
Come on, man.
Confirmed that there isn't.
Wouldn't that be great? Like, you have to fight like Diagrus underwater.
Look, Saj, I know you missed the days of swimming of 3 Ultimate. Let's not talk, but no one else does. Anyways.
Hyper sarcastic, because that swimming was awful.
It was.
Using a long sword underwater was the worst.
Anyways,
alright, getting back on topic.
That's a different discussion for a different time. But I will say the new area of Stormblood looks beautiful. Like the base, or at least the gear that Samurai has looks great. Just a lot of things in Stormblood look great. Simple as that.
Yeah, I mean we have, to put it best, it's like we're getting too I mean, we're going to Alamigo to deal with their problems, and then we're going over to the east to go to Doma and free them from their problems. So it almost feels like we're getting like 2 expansions. Yoshi P provided.
Yoshi P, he might
Yoshi P giveth and Yoshi P taketh.
He gives. It seems like he puts a lot of work into this, into everything he works on. And that trailer right at the end of Heaven's Ward, or it might as well have been a trailer, but oh my gosh, I'm ready. I'm so ready for. Spoiler like this. I'm not going to spoil anything, just in case anyone in the chat hasn't seen the ending part of Heaven's Ward, but. I'm ready. I'm ready for the next primal. Primal stuff.
Primals.
Yeah, next primals. Yeah, but oh my gosh, that ending. That was a good way. That was a good way to leave us on a nice cliffhanger for Stormblood.
Yeah, finish the story, everybody.
If there's one thing I do want to mention, at least in a short post, I love the potential flavor that the new Alliance raid has. Return to Evilise. If there's one thing you will ever know about me is that I love tactics, and that's all I'll say about that. All I'm gonna say is this has a lot of potential, and I hope it doesn't disappoint.
Hint, hint. He's going to be doing that as a commentary video later.
Oh, dude! The moment we get the ability to run those 24-man raids, we definitely need to stream that.
Yes.
I think there was one thing. Oh, the new Beastmen? Beast
Tribes?
Beast Tribes? I think there's two.
Yes.
Basically Lamias. Basically Lamias.
Oh yeah.
And if
Lamias.
turtle people.
You say Lamians, all I can think of is Monster
So
Girl
Monster
Quest.
Mitsune and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Monster Girl Quest.
Everyday
and
life with
Monster
Monster Girls.
Going past the anime reference and the
No, more anime reference.
and the old cartoon reference. I do like it. They're adding in 2 new beast men or beast tribes, and I've been asking myself where the turtle people was, because I remember 11 had Quadov, which were turtle people, and I liked them because they were fun. They were fun to drop on the floor, steal all their stuff.
Damn.
And make
Is it weird? Is it weird that we're 2 expansions into an MMO and they're only just introducing swimming?
Not really.
I mean,
we were 1 expansion before they had to introduce flying, and the flying is better than the World of Warcraft flying.
No, World of Warcraft flying is amazing, especially
Yeah,
when you get like the fastest flying.
I have to say, World of Warcraft flying still trumps 14's flying.
Oh hell yeah!
That's
Come
just
on,
'cause
man!
it's
Don't you
faster
love
in
getting
WoW, and
Aether?
we're getting the mount speed boost in this expansion.
I mean,
we are getting a mount speed boost.
Yeah,
Off the ground.
We're gonna get one shortly after you start the expansion, and the one sometime later.
Oh, cool.
yeah, we're
So you
getting
can find
a
the
mount.
motorcycle.
We're getting a mount speed boost, yes.
We're not getting the motorcycle.
Oh, I do know that.
Okay, then we can get the car. We'll just get the car.
I do know that.
No, you can't have cars anyways, yeah, because half of you can't deal with mechanics.
We are not going to get Blitzball anytime soon.
I imagine that's like for 4.3 or something.
It has to be at least a good chunk of the way into the expansion. There's no way it can be a day 1 thing because there's already so much shit you're gonna have to do day 1.
Yeah, he was thinking, like Yoshi P was thinking about putting it in there, but he's like, that's all. It's an idea.
Well, I mean, if I'm correct, the timeline is the 16th is early access goes live, the 20th is the game actually goes live, and then a week after that we have to do Tier 1 Omega, and then I believe a week after that the new Tombstone comes out and Omega Savage, whatever the first set of it's going to be called.
Yeah.
Omega Savage, I believe so. I think you're correct on that.
I will say this about
Omega Mid and Omega Savage, whatever the new tier is going to be called.
So
go ahead. Sync. Oh no, I was just going to say this is just about 14 in general. I do like how they're releasing certain things within a week of each other, just so people, just so the content can be released slowly over time, so that the expansion actually retains retains its people's intrigue.
I mean, most MMOs work off that kind of thing.
Yeah, but the thing, I just think of WoW because it takes like almost a month just to get a new raid, just to get like a whole new raid. But
they put a lot of like timers on stuff, so it's
that's true too.
That's a different game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so there's a lot going on there. We get to.
Thumbnail, is there anything you wanted to talk about or mention?
For Stormblood, well, see, I came from World of Warcraft to Final Fantasy 14 because I just wanted to find new pastures. At the time, I was really getting tired of Warlords of Draenor, and right as patch 6.2 was out, I was like, you know what? I gotta take a break. I cannot handle this. I'm getting on, sending Garrison for like 5 minutes. I see that my minions bring me mythic gear, like literally mythic gear out of raids. I'm like, oh, thanks. Oh, who needs to raid? I got a new belt right now.
What,
It's
need to do that,
mythic heroic. Wow, great gear. Wow, what great content. I just slap it on my character and just wait till tomorrow for more gear. It's just at a certain point, it just kind of felt like the developers didn't really care and got into Final Fantasy XIV. And while yes, I know that the flying has been questionable for a lot of people in 14, and yeah, we probably should have had swimming. Honestly, don't mind the fact that it really feels like the developers are listening to the community and adding things properly. Instead of just, slapping in some sort of underwater combat, something kind of shoddy, or really just slapping in swimming just for the sake of it, they're actually turning it into a thing where gatherers can go gather and people can go explore and mounts can actually go underwater and stuff like that. And I kind of like that attention to detail. They're not as fast as, or I guess going at the same speed as say like World of Warcraft and Blizzard is, but I like the rate they're going in. It shows care.
Well, to be fair, World of Warcraft has been here for years.
True,
13 years.
Yeah,
and 14 came from the ashes of 1.0, so it's really impressive that it gets a second expansion.
We don't talk about 1.0.
Yeah, Thom. Yeah, A Realm Reborn came from the ashes of an attempt to polish a turd.
Oh, I know. I watched videos of like changes to it, and I can't help but to just appreciate that there was a team that was brave enough to just like pull the game out of that horrid state and make it something competent.
1.0 is still canon.
Go to the point where it gets an expansion, and now it gets a second expansion. It's like, I don't know, it just makes me want to root for the developers.
Oh yeah, and plus 1.0 is still canon, oddly enough.
Other than it being canon, it was supposed to be like a polish up from 11, which was critically acclaimed, and that's where I come from. I'm from 11. I played World of Warcraft for 30 days, and I was like, ugh. It's not like I hated it. It was just like, there's a lot more than I thought was here, and
well, you didn't enjoy that solo leveling experience?
I mean, in 11, you solo level until level 10 or 12, depending on how hard you grind, and then you are putting your name out there for like, hey, I want to go into a place called Broken Dunes, where you get up there to like level 16 to get your subclass, and then you start leveling your monk, and it's all complicated bullcrap. But 11 had a community where you had to be in a party if you want to progress with anything. And as like locked down and chained as that sounds, it was actually pretty fun. I had a great time getting up to level 75 and having a good time playing as my paladin. I had like a whole bunch of good time, but then 14 came out and 1.0 version went in. I was like, oh, I see they took some elements from 11, so this should be fun, right? Sync Weaver leveled up to level 50 in the first area with a party just doing fake fates. With like 10 people. We just... Yeah, I think it wasn't even like fates. It was, they didn't even have fates in there. They had levy quests. It was very much different. But we shared each other's levy quests. And when you share it, everybody gets the reward from it. And when you finish up killing that certain monster, somebody just pops off another levy quest. Somebody pops off another levy quest. It was the easiest way to grind from level 1 to level 50.
Thom, I'm actually on the same boat with you with World of Warcraft, except instead of it being Draenor, I played all the way up until Legion. About 3 months. I spent about 3 months playing Legion, and I was just like, after the pain in the ass that was like rep grinding, I was just kind of done trying to keep myself up with current content because it's just not fun it wasn't fun for me anymore. So I just said screw it, and Christmas was coming around, so after I got my PS4, I got 14, hopped on, and didn't stop playing since.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I was sort of stuck on a RP server with a friend, and that was a whole can of worms in WoW.
Oh gosh.
Wow, you guys have interesting WoW stories. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
This is a 14 discussion. Let's get this filthy Blizzard out of here.
Hey, you know what they say? You gotta reflect on the crappy past in order to appreciate what we have now. And you know what? I could not be more excited for Stormblood. I hope it goes well. I'm gonna be still critical of the content. I'm not gonna be just like a fanboy, be like, oh my god, Square Enix is the best company ever, and Yoshi P and their team is like the greatest people ever. I'll support them, even if they mess up, even if they do something bad. No, I'll still be critical.
Mankind divided.
I'll still be
I
critical,
can just
and I'll
point
still
at,
make,
like,
if
could be
there's something.
worse.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, it's like it could be worse. They could making pachinko games.
It's true.
True.
But to
Let's-
kind of bring this all back around, I am excited for Stormblood.
Same.
It looks to be the expansion where it looks to be a good expansion. I'm tripping on my words here. I mean, the only thing that I'd be kind of annoyed about, and this is really just a splitting hairs like nitpick, is there's no new race. But I get it. They'll do it in. I assume they'll do it in the next one. This
That
is
is a
like their off
common MMO.
expansion.
Well, I think we're all ready for Stormblood.
By this point.
By this point, we're all ready just to get in there and have our fun with Stormblood by now.
We're 10 days out.
Mm-hmm.
And by golly, will I have a lot to look into as the lore guy, as the guy who's mostly interested in the story, because I think I was one of the first people who let me just say spoilers, a little, not much of a spoiler, but I knew who the blonde girl was. I think I was the first one to call that out. Like,
Alright, where's your video proof?
where's my video proof? Finish the story! I said, oh my gosh, I was right. How did I know? Evidence. But I don't want to go on in the story because I would spend all day on that, and nobody wants to hear me like spoil things all day.
We've been going for a little while, so...
Yeah. So, finishing thoughts, guys. We're ready, right?
Oh hell to the yeah! I'm still working on Anima, but I am ready.
And what is the first job that you're going to level to 70?
Warrior.
White Mage.
Dragoon.
Red Mage.
Thumb?
Yo, like, okay, to be completely honest, there was one particular reason why I really like Red Mage, aside from the abilities. As somebody who did fencing competitively, seeing those sword skills and the names of these abilities, like flush and stuff, it's just like, oh, it just brings me back. I want to be a fencer. I really want to fence, and I can fence in Final Fantasy 14. What? Yes, please.
That's awesome.
Don't abandon Bard. It loves you.
I'll still get barred up, but I mean, if there are other, nice dapper looking pastures over in Red Mage area, then I'll follow that.
The dapper ass red man.
He does look dapper as hell. Oh my god, he looks
that
so good.
hat. That hat.
So,
Look at the Dragoon armor though. Just look at the stream and look at the Dragoon skills, because you tell me that you just don't want to do a pentathrust.
I mean, let's think about this for a second. Thumb, I guess you're gonna have to put. I guess I'm just gonna have to put hashtag Thumb Red Mage Guide up, because since you're getting that to 70.
Hashtag fencing.
Hashtag fencing. Hashtag magical fencing. Hashtag I did not think that thing was a staff. What? Yoshi P be doing too much.
Actually, also this is for the chat too. What classes are you gonna get? What class are you gonna get the 71st in Blood?
I'm probably gonna make the mistake of leveling Samurai.
Ninja.
I mean, as much as I kind of went off on it, I can't abandon White Mage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll still stick with Dark Knight.
I'm sticking with my roots. I'm sticking with Warrior.
I wanna stick with Dark Knight. Though I'm gonna also make the same mistake and try to level Samurai and Red Mage in the background. Somehow, I think I can do it. It's gonna take
Get
me a while.
get your squadron and go get some EXP scrolls.
Look, my current goal for the expansion is to be the first raid-ready samurai. Don't know if that's gonna happen, but
It might not. Who knows?
You got 2 weeks, my man. Get to it.
You got 2 weeks.
Shout it out in the chats. What's your first job going to level 70?
I see 2 ninjas already.
I see a great one by Snow. Hashtag Thamurai.
Yeah, everybody on my streams want me to level a samurai so they can call me Samurai. I'm not even kidding you. They all say like, we want to call you Samurai when you level Sam. So please level a samurai first. Some porn.
No, he's gonna be a thread mage first.
Dude, there's 40 people watching this stream. That's awesome.
What part of... Did I not say that Thom put out...
Hey.
No, I'm not gonna have this discussion with you, co-host. Jeez.
Hey, I don't do anything. I
Maybe
just put
we
out
put
links.
this
People
stream
just
later in the
come.
day. More people would be
Yeah.
watching it.
People just want to come and watch, man. People just want to
I
watch
know.
some good podcasts, man.
Yeah.
A live
So-
streamed podcast.
So, we're at this point where we're gonna have to start closing out. Again, I want to thank Thom for being here. Honestly, man, thank you.
Thanks
Thanks
so
a
much
lot,
for
dude.
inviting me. It was awesome.
and
Dude,
putting up
thanks
with
for the
our
barter.
shenanigans.
Yeah, that and also thanks for the your take on the Bard stuff, because honestly, I only know so much about I know so little about Bard.
I'm actually
Yeah.
leveling
That
a
was
Bard right now, so I now have something to aspire towards.
I know, right?
Nowhere near Thom's level of knowledge of it.
I only know from experience. As somebody who graduated with IT for 4 years, Jesus, whatever. God, how to put this? You learn a lot of jargon as IT person. You need to learn how to say it clearly to others. So that's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of my specialty. Yeah, I'm going to be making lots of guides when it comes to Bard to let people understand exactly how to Bard and how to Machinist or how to Red Mage if I ever figure this out. But yeah, if any of y'all have any questions by the time I get there, just ask me and I'll try to help. But I'll probably get it wrong. Somebody's going to be like, that is not the way to do it. There's a better way to play it. I'm going to be like, oh my god, shut up, nerd. somebody online will find a way for me to,
Feel bad
somebody
about
will find a way,
yourself?
yeah, they'll find a way to one up my rotation. I'll be like, oh my god, just let me have something.
I mean,
I get
we
bullied.
Then you take the rotation for your own, and then you don't even say that they did it.
I'm not even kidding. If I play anything other than Bard on my stream, I get bullied. They're like, you missed that ability, and I'm like, I don't even know what it is. Tell me the icon. I don't know my name. Please, no bully.
No, no bully.
Come on, Thom, you gotta weave those dex potions into it so you can do max DPS.
I try. I do my best. I try already, but they're so expensive on Exodus.
Oh wow.
Come to our server where literally everything's cheap now. Not
I
really.
didn't. I
No, it's
honestly,
not.
I honestly thought because Thom, I didn't know we were in the same server center.
Yeah, we are in the same data center.
That's so weird.
Dude.
I was specifically told that no, it's just they're moving the servers. Oh no, they like literally moved the server. Oh wait, we can play with each other now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I'm
that's
not sure
awesome.
why you'd want to hang with us, but
Yeah, what?
Yeah, I think
I'm
I think we're cool, kind of.
I think y'all are pretty cool, so don't
Alright.
discredit yourselves, seriously.
There was a lot of fun talking to you, dude. This has been a lot of fun talking to you.
All right.
Thanks so much for having
Yeah.
me, seriously.
Yep. If you want to close out on how people are gonna find you, Thom.
Oh,
wanna
you can
chill?
find me over on YouTube as Thamriel. Just click the Thamriel, not Thamriel 2. Thamriel 2 has a lot of content that we don't speak about. But if you're feeling
Nekopara
adventurous,
Volume 3.
yeah. I can't even say anything at that point. I like cat girls.
One dragon
Final Fantasy
here,
14
dragon later.
made me like cat girls. I can't even understand why. But seriously, I did not know this thing existed. This likeness for cat girls. And then Final Fantasy 14 corrupted me. Thanks, Square. Thanks, Yoshi P.
Please look
At
forward
least
to
they
it.
got your money.
Exactly. Please look forward to more
But
cat
yeah.
girls.
Also, and then there's the social media stuff.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter as Thamriel, Instagram Thamriel, everything Thamriel.
Everything Thamriel, guys.
I don't know. Thom, it could be worse. We got these things with Fimros over here.
And to my boys over at the Jaded Desktop, where can we find you, Kaz?
You can find us at the Jaded Desktop. It's it's a slowly growing channel, but it's a channel nonetheless.
It exists.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm currently running Kingdom Hearts 1 Final Mix. Nutu does Dark Souls stuff. He did a couple Smite videos. And Jehudi is apparently working on a project. Sync is playing ukulele. And then just plenty of other stuff like that.
And
If you like
everything.
unprofessionalness, come on over.
we do try our hardest to be kind of professional with our commentaries. We are a commentary channel.
What's editing?
Yeah.
No.
What's editing? But
Editing
yeah,
is an afterthought.
Don't
Yeah.
worry. During one commentary channel, I'll make sure to throw Thom a little invite, because currently you're still doing Horizon Zero Dawn, aren't you?
I finished it actually.
You finished
Yeah,
it?
just finished it.
The heck? How did I miss that?
I stream 3 times a day. I gotta finish games quick. I have a whole
Yeah.
backlog to get through.
Thomreal games done quick.
I'm so mad I missed that.
No, don't worry. It's okay, man. It's alright.
Yeah, he's been streaming it like a lot. And
I was there when he beat his first Thunderjaw, and it was a corrupted Thunderjaw at that.
Oh god, these things are
Start on
painful.
fighting Thunderjaws, man.
but seriously, Thom, this has been fun. This has been fun. I had fun with it.
And
Thanks so much for reminding me. This was a blast.
Yeah, I know.
And I guess for me myself, I'm Saint Weaver. You can catch me here on YouTube with Saint Weaver. I have a second channel, which also we will not talk about because whatever. Nobody needs
Is
to
it
know
anime
this.
related?
No.
Can we
it's-
collab?
Is he called Sync Weather?
Is it
Weaver?
Sean asked what data center we're on. We're on Primal.
Primal.
Yeah,
We're on the
Primal.
Primal.
I do a bunch of small little basic guides, not really going into the advanced guides, that's not my thing. I do basic guides, and I do a shit ton of lore, because I like stories. So, come on down if you want to hear me talk about a stupid story for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 20 minutes.
Primal, Diablos, you can find Sync AFKing in the mist.
And, I do streams. Quite
And
a
I'm
bit.
the co-host of those streams.
Yes, you can find us over there. So, like I said, I want to thank you guys, and don't worry, my Twitter is also there, but I don't think I go to my Twitter much as well.
Yeah.
Although, if you do want to go to my Twitter, it's SyncWeaver720, and that's all I'm going to say about it.
Alrighty.
But thank you, Thom. Thank you guys from Jaded Desktop. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us into this discussion. Didn't think it would actually go so deep into it.
We went on 2 hours.
Yeah, I did learn a lot, and thank you, chat, for also contributing. Thank you, Thom, for your contribution. As always, you are very amazing.
I'm not. Thank you for having me.
And
It's fun to have you around.
and guys, from the Jaded, thank you guys for also joining me. You guys are great.
No problem, fam. No problem, fam.
It was my pleasure.
And to my boy Jehudi and Hal, who had to leave early, thank you as well. And catch us on YouTube.
Somewhere.
I'm just a little excited, guys. I can't. I'm looking,
We're all excited.
I'm looking at the screen.
Stormblood.
I'm looking at Red Mage right now. I think I'm about to just go Thread Mage as myself. So.
Hell yeah.
Oh my gosh, but thank you guys, and you guys have fun. Enjoy Stormblood. Don't forget that the early access is happening on the 16th, and
Yes, next Friday.
and
I have
the,
no idea
the
if I'm
actual
even gonna have the
opening.
game by then.
Yeah, we're working on that, and the actual game comes out on the 20th.
Yes, correct.
Okay, great. All right, so everybody, enjoy Stormblood.